This is international soccer celebrity Chris Doran, and you're listening to ACES Radio.
Now, shall we begin?
You are now listening to an altogether less fashionable variety of soccer podcast. Broadcasting live from the capital city of Columbus, Ohio. Welcome to
ACES Radio.
I got the new wings with the zebra flavor sauce.
I've given this no thought whatsoever.
Hashtag probably riding cock.
They're in your face, they're a little different. I think it's super cool. I love them. Jamie, ignorant slut.
Hold on to your butts.
Now, here are your hosts, Morgan Hughes, John Zadar, and Darby Schnarpus.
Oh, yeah, baby. Ignorant sluts, shitlords, and celebrity fans alike. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, it's already too late. You're tuned in to the latest, the lamest, possibly last episode of ACES Radio. It's a Buffalo Bills podcast only. Coming up tonight on the program, Cruisers FC kickoff 2019 at home with a tie against the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars. The panel will discuss cracking the code. Tonight it makes its triumphant return when we try to decipher what Michael Arace means when he ruins the Columbus Dispatch. Man balls are back drabs and they're thrown about as liberally as ever. I welcome you back to the show, my friend. I remind you that soon Stank Lake will be under a pile of dirt. Then on segment 2, the rarest of all rare treats as a celebrity guest. Unlike any other, which we don't mean as a compliment, stops by the show. Mike Hudson Sucks is here, bitches. Mike Hudson Sucks. He certainly does. But does he suck? I don't know. Maybe you tune in to... Yeah, he sucks. Then on segment 3, we head live on Periscope for your hot takes, a.k.a. the battle for the grand prize and sweet mother of God. A logjam at the top of the standings this week, fellas, as users A, B, C, D, E, F, and Rich Uncle Skeleton return to battle for hot takes supremacy. Prediction scores, prediction updates, Cruisers versus Revolution, Hang on Tour, the Ags Attack War, and so much fucking more. Brought to you as always by benevolent corporate overlord sponsors Blood and Urine, and broadcasting live from the beautiful front room here at Endeavor Brewing Company. My name is the continuing champion, Morgan Hughes, a.k.a. Officer Carol Seaver, and I'm joined as always by AAA, the absentee amateur artist himself, Captain Jean-Luc, the wet boy Zadar, and everyone's favorite ancient ruin, Darby, the 40-year-old man-child Schnarfus. Fellas, mapanches, lads from different dads, brothers from different mothers, and amigos, de Guillermo, how in the hell have you been?
Nice to have the return of winter here in Ohio. To anybody who thinks a winter schedule is a good idea for soccer in America, get the fuck out of here.
You can suck my balls.
It is like 2 degrees outside. It is bullshit. I'm just happy this wasn't the weather we got on Saturday.
Gary is so cold when he goes outside to pee to make hot weenus that he can't even get up the back steps. Like, he doesn't even do it. He'll approach the back steps and then run away from them. Because he can't. Because he's a little tiny baby man. Yeah, mama's boy. Sean Sitar, the wetness, the wet boy. Welcome back.
Yeah. What's up? I feel like it's probably so cold out that Gary is probably like pissing cold urine.
Yeah, like he just icicles, like dripping
like
out of his dick.
Comes out of his dick.
That's not entirely untrue.
Like, does he get stuck to the ground like his stream of urine freezes as it comes out, and then it's just like he's on a pedestal then?
I can't even imagine. It just forces him upwards. You come out and he's like 2 stories in the air. What's with the stairs? Is it the snow or is it the ice?
If there's,
I know this is like a little dog thing. My mom's dog does it too.
If there's, first of all, he's terrified of the stairs because he's on the same level as them and he can see through them.
He has to basically go above, like jump his height.
Yeah.
To get onto it.
Like the stairs to go upstairs are fine, but the stairs on the back go under the deck, so he can see under the deck.
There's no...
Yeah. There's no backing
to him.
And so he's terrified. So there's like snow and ice, and he's like, I'm just not touching that.
If only his father were able to have some amount of free time where he could put backs behind the stairs.
Maybe it's snowing and 2 degrees outside, and you're expecting him to do yard work?
Yeah, I literally am.
No, nobody has time for that. Since he's already talking into the microphone, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program. Guest on segment 2. Joining us for segment 1, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Hudson Sucks.
Hello, everyone.
He certainly does.
every week when I listen to this, I'm very glad that Morgan finishes the word continuing, although I wouldn't argue with him if he said I'm the and didn't finish the word.
Everyone thinks that you're dumb.
That wouldn't be the first.
You're wearing a real interesting outfit. Do you listen? Do you wear that when you listen every week too?
No, well, if I'm outside, sometimes.
Save it.
Okay.
I would say thank you for wearing a
saving
fucking
it
shirt.
For segment 2. It could be
Mike
the
is
only
actually
thing
wearing a shirt.
Yeah, you
today,
fucked up,
unlike
Hudson.
any
That's the
time
play.
else.
That was the play here. The play was to come in shirtless.
Well, I wasn't invited during a season in which that would be appropriate.
No, God.
Well, Darby
please
thinks it's
no.
okay for there to be yard work happening, so I think you can go shirtless indoors.
Moving on, 3 pieces of housekeeping before we get in the meat and potatoes of ACES Radio. I'm just not even going to give you a chance to enter your thoughts.
Happened there?
I don't respect the potatoes today, okay, Alex? Jesus. 3 pieces of housekeeping,
Alex
lads.
Thomas is furious.
He really is. Number 1, welcome home to international celebrity Chris Doran.
This is international soccer celebrity Chris Doran.
Fan fucking tech. Not going to let him finish either. Glad to
Pam
have
will.
you back. That's really good, Drabs. Everyone's going to
You're
laugh.
listening to ACES Radio.
So how about I come over there and go to town on your money and on your ass?
Never to be one-upped by Pam. He let Doran finish as well.
No, really happy to have Chris Doran back. It's another thing where the front office is like, do you guys like stuff? How about we get that? And so, I mean, I saw Chris Doran on Friday night. He's still a legend. He's a goddamn BDD, Drabs, as they say on the streets.
Right.
Where was Doran?
He was at that Friday night media event.
Oh.
I remember
and then he
when
didn't
you
come
did
out
not-
and hang out?
He did not.
I remember
dare
when you
he.
did not want Big Dick Doran to become a thing, and then it became a thing, and
Yeah.
you embraced it.
That's right.
Because that's what
He
you
embraces
do.
the big dick.
You're a
All
freaking
right.
chameleon.
I see what you did there. It's very funny, Mike. Everyone loves that. Second, Crew Trade and International slide to LA Galaxy today for $175,000 in allocation monies. That breaks down to $100,000 of TAM and $75,000 of TAM for basically something that we weren't going to use. We certainly weren't using it. And now we have 2 international slots left. And Jesus, mother of God, do we have all of the Garber bucks, Drabs?
Yeah, like 600,000 total, I think, which is a nice chunk just in 2019 alone.
Yeah.
I guess we're not. I'm not going to give any credit to previous front office staff because fuck most of them as a general rule. But
Roasted.
I guess one thing they managed to do right was have everybody get a damn green card so that we aren't using international spots, and now they're up for sale.
Yeah. Yeah.
And got all that money without even making a trade with Cincinnati.
That's very funny.
Would Cincinnati perhaps like to buy another international roster spot?
I think we're clear for now. Well,
They're
Do you
looking,
wanna have
they're
one
looking to
just
pick
to
up
be
one
safe
more
for now?
defensive midfielder if
yeah,
possible.
yeah. There's a good international defensive midfielder who could
if
really use it.
Cincinnati wants Gio Dos Santos, then they're going to need a lot of money and another international slot, I believe.
Please do that. Please do that. I would laugh. So
Another
hard.
roster spot and
Well, I mean, we could fire.
smoking the reefer.
Yes.
Fantastic. Third and final piece of housekeeping, the most important. On a serious note, happy birthday to Kirk Urso. He would have been 29 years old today. A big, massive shout out to Sandy and Mike. You are forever in our hearts. You are forever a member of our family. Kirk gone way, 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 way too soon. And here's to this year possibly being the year, I hope, fingers crossed, that we retire the number 15 forever.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Moving on, Cruisers FC taking on the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars of the greater New York and New Jersey areas, Drabs. They're a pretty big team. Formation, you're familiar, 4-2-3-1. Starter, Zach Steffen in net. Awful, Mensah, Sorrow, Francis across the back. Artur and Trapp in the middle. Sanch, Higuain, Merrim on the wings and attacking mid. And your boy, Jossie Zardes up top. Your subs, Robinho was the only one used. Comes on from Merrim in the 79th. Your cards, a lot of them, so strap yourselves in, rough lads. Harrison Alpha picks one up in the 15th, a yellow that is. Will Trapp in the 31st, Pedro Sanch in the 74th, and Waylon Francis in the first minute of stoppage time. Your goals, Andreas Ivan, I believe is how you say it. It's Spanish for Andreas Ivan. Gets New York off of the Schneid in the 6th, and Gaston Sorrow scores for the Crew in the 41st. That is your final score, 1-1. Drolby Scrinface Attendance at 17,931. Not bad for a team who couldn't sell a season ticket until mid-January and single-game tickets even later than that. I don't want to talk about attendance very much.
Good, because I'm not going to.
I was going to say I don't want to either.
We're going to cover it in Cracking the Code. So let's start. Let's talk about this. How good do you feel if you're the Red Bulls resting most of your stars on the road against a playoff team and getting a point? I'm sure they would have signed up for that like 100 times out of 100. Your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously this is 100% a victory for them. Unfortunately, it didn't really benefit them in their game yesterday, resting all those starters. But still, yeah, it's a good outcome for them. It's not actually the worst outcome for us. I predicted a win. I would have liked a win, but Red Bull are fucking deep. Mm-hmm. We have preseason sort of readjustment to an altered system. There's a lot of overlap with Greg's system, but you could tell that they were trying to do things differently with somewhat mixed results. So, I wish it was a win. It's not the worst result. And I think I appreciate the fact that both the coach and the players acknowledge that they should have done better. Yeah. And that they really wanted to give the fans 3 points. So, yeah. First game of the season. Anybody who's like predicting, they're going to finish 7th in the East based on that performance, realize it's one fucking game and chill your tits.
Yeah. Mike Hudson Sucks. Talk to us about maybe, you were at the game. You've been a lad for many years. Despite the hat,
just a few,
and the shirt, there were a lot of differences at Crew Stadium. Did it feel like a different atmosphere for you compared to previous years?
Absolutely, and that started not even in the stadium. That started at Mega Tailgate and Mini Tailgate. And okay, I'm supposed to put the dick right in my mouth.
There you go.
That works. Sorry, I thought I was loud enough.
Pretend that it's Robert Kraft.
Oh, you're talking about the microphone? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We don't call it the dick.
And why are you taking your shirt off now? What's happening here?
It would be extremely difficult in my condition to take my shirt off. Anyway, so first off, I saw Greg Berhalter in the concourse. Oh, yeah, on the West Side concourse just on my way to the bathroom. That was really awesome to see. So that's not actually a change from previous years. But there were definitely lots of moments. We'll get to, I'm sure, the 75th or whatever minute when Wise Men Say came on and they put 85th. The words,
85th.
85th, thank you. Yeah. When that came on and they put the words up on the marquee and the scoreboard, that was very awesome. It was definitely felt louder, even though previously I was in the Nordeca on Cruisemas, and this year I was a West Side casual with my bro right here.
Would you say that the section you sat in for this game was the best section you've ever sat in the history of all sections?
Absolutely. But it's not really much of a competition, considering I don't sit in the Nordeca.
Oh my God, he roasted you.
Is that it?
Awkward silence from Darby.
There are 3 of them.
Welcome to my life.
Sean Sitar, if you're looking for something to say, I know that, Drab said it earlier, and I think we're all thinking it, like, first game, how much can you really take from it? It was freezing fucking cold. You're trying to get your regular season legs under you, but a lot of second verse, same as the first in the opening half from the Crew. A ton of chances created that weren't finished. A ton of unforced turnovers on our side of the field. What'd you see? Were you frustrated at all?
Yeah, I thought the first half was a lot worse than the second half, in my opinion, and which is kind of what I anticipated happening. They're still working out the kinks, like you said. New coach, system's not super different, but the asks of individual players down to like the certain nuances that you may not even notice of what they're doing and places that they're going. Those are just kind of things that they're still learning and adjusting to. So that's natural to happen, and I expected Caleb to make tweaks at halftime and tell people how to shore up their play at halftime, and it seemed like he did because the second half was a lot better. And it's an interesting game. I kind of think both teams got what they deserved. Obviously both teams would have preferred the win, but that's not what happened. And given the two halves, I think it was even. I think the Red Bulls dominated the first half. If you had 90 minutes of that, then they probably would have gotten the 3 points. And if we had 90 minutes of our second half, I think we would have gotten 3 points. But that's just not how it shook out. And so, Red Bull's probably thrilled that they got that point on the road with a reserve-ish lineup.
Yeah, they only had like 3 starters, I think, from their previous game.
Bunch of people didn't even make the trip. They weren't even pretending.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't even realize that Bradley Wright Phillips wasn't in the game until halftime.
He wasn't in
second
the 18.
half.
He didn't travel with the team.
Yeah, someone was like, "Is Bradley Wright Phillips still on the team?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, he's not out there, is he?"
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of unforced turnovers I was seeing in the first half from the crew. One of them, Waylon Francis in the middle,
led to the goal.
Led to the goal, which was, I mean, just like a trifecta of just poop salad, where Waylon Francis turns the ball over. Harrison Awful can't decide if he's a defender.
He checked out. He got caught ball watching for a second. Totally forgot his duties on the back post.
Zach was going a little bit the opposite direction from where the ball ended up, but Jesus Christ, there was no attempt once that cross came in. So there's a Red Bull goal. Let's talk about the equalizer, because if nothing else, there's a feel good story here, Drabs. Argentine to Argentine with a deflection to seal off the ball going to the back of the net. To me, watching Gaston Sarr after all he's been through, including as recently as last year when we didn't know whether or not he was going to be a professional soccer player ever again, to get the goal that salvaged a point, it had to do your dark and black heart a little good that day.
By the way, welcome to the podcast, Dakota Stewart.
Why is that? What does that mean?
He said exactly that, Argentine to Argentine, on his Columbus, what's it called, podcast.
Oh my God, did you just copy
5 days ago?
Podcast for Columbus?
I definitely listened to that.
Oh my God, a podcast so enthralling that Mike Hudson couldn't even remember its name.
Yeah, no, that was definitely
roasted.
That was a feel good story. He was a guy that I honestly thought that after missing that many games, he'd just kind of be thrown off to the side. But he came back. He took a huge ass pay cut to stay with the team. And just kept putting in the work. It seems, from my really extensive experience in interacting with him, which would be watching his Instagram account, seems like just a genuinely good dude. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those,
and a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
I
remember how crazy, I'm not saying I'm talking insane he was about the Eagles. They were in some hotel room in preseason.
Yeah, he was doing the Eagle
was he
thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean the Dirty Bird ripoff from the
yes.
From the
with
Falcons?
The crazed look in his eyes, and Zach would just take videos of it, just not even know how to deal with it. Gaston, what a legend! What a legend!
No, that was I don't know. I'm a little surprised that they didn't call that an own goal. I mean, it was going towards goal, but there was a significant redirect from the defender. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's a good story. It was, his first goal as a member of the crew, right?
Correct.
So, that's pretty fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty dang cool, as they say in the industry.
That's pretty dang cool.
Sean Starr, let's move on to later in the game. We only used one substitution, and it was Robinho coming on blissfully for Justin Merriman in the 79th. I liked what I saw from Robinho. I'm not going to pretend to know whether or not he's long-term better than Sanch or Merrim, but it's tough to not be. I loved how direct he was. Mm-hmm. He's taking guys on and seemingly not just kicking the ball at their feet and hoping it magically goes through. What did you see late in the game from Robinho, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously less time than the other two guys had, but I thought he showed much better than the other two in that limited time. So if he's not going to be given a chance to start this coming week, I would assume that he's very close on the tails of those two.
Yeah, a little bit something different off the bench is always a good thing late in the game against tired legs.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Can't remember who it was. Maybe Donnie and Faust and I. We were talking about how maybe Merrim needs to be relegated back to that late game menace that he was for a period in time there. He always did so well when he came off the bench and
unleashing J9.
Yeah, so maybe that's just what he needs to help get himself back into form. You do it that way, and he comes at people who are tired, and he gets a goal or an assist here and there, and gets his confidence back up. And then if he's playing well enough, you can move him back to starting position. But I think you've got to try something different. I know it's a new coach, but it's not new for us fans, and we've been seeing these two guys as the wingers for a while now. And I think yeah, there's a whole new season and an off season in between it, but the fatigue is still there, at least for me. So like I'm ready for a change, whether it's Hansen or Rubinho or whomever. But
we have talked about how he plays best with a chip on his shoulder, and what gives a guy a chip on his shoulder like putting him on the bench and having him come off. You know, like that's. You're right. Maybe that's what it takes is to be that impact guy to get some numbers on the stat sheet.
Maybe the question is who deserves to sit more, Sanch or Merman?
I mean,
I said this on the night of, but if anyone else other than Pedro Sanch had been playing in those last 10 minutes, we would have won that game. Like he had two pretty like that obvious the one that everybody sees is the one that's been like replaying on Twitter of him kicking the ball out of bounds with his plant foot before he goes to cross. But there was another time like a few minutes earlier where he had taken a kind of a redirect shot off of a cross that had gone horribly wide, and like he just instantly fell down and laid in the box for like a couple minutes, and like just that's embarrassing and like not acceptable. Like I'm sorry you missed the shot. I realize it's frustrating. It was an awful shot. You should have done better on that one. Right. And two, just because you fucked up doesn't mean you now get to lay on the ground. Like you spent enough time on the ground, dude.
Yeah,
like, I'm sorry.
I mean, you know, he had that one beautiful shot that everybody jacked off on the in the Carolina Challenge Cup. But we have a large sample of his work now. We have a huge number of games to judge his ability. If you still think that like he's gonna break out at some point, it's too fucking late. It really is. Yeah. He
does bring a tighter defensive strategy and a more effective defensive strategy than Justin Merrim does.
And that's great because his turnovers lead to
on Saturday.
The need.
He raced all the way down to the end line.
And
only to keep it in, but he kept it in by backheeling it, which means like his forward momentum is still going, so he's not getting that ball.
The attacking player
there was
got
no
to
one
the ball.
following up, so the defender got it,
and he
they started
turned it
countering.
Over to start that.
They started countering, and he just stood there and watched them counter up the field. He didn't try to track back and play defense.
Does it change anything that he's
why even
a
keep it in
designated player?
bounds if you're gonna not, like?
Does it change anything that he's a highest paid player in franchise history and Justin Merrim isn't? I mean, they're both highly paid as far as MLS is concerned.
Well, and we can also stop doing the either or thing because that seems to be a favorite thing on crew Twitter's like, oh, Merrim was worse. Oh, Pedro's worse. They were both pretty fucking bad in that game. Like I had
no idea who Rubinho was going to come in for. I couldn't decide. Until it happened. I was like, which of these guys?
If Nico Hansen hadn't been injured, I think he absolutely would have been a sub. Maybe even at the same time. I think that's why
we only saw the one sub was
because the alternative was Hector. And
we had I mean literally in Caleb Porter's post-game comments, he said we had two offensive subs.
Yeah,
Rubinho and then Mullins, which means
JJ Williams
or JJ Williams, whichever the strikers
wasn't even in
whichever the strikers was on the bench, which means that he doesn't see, right? Like whether he intended to do this or not, he intentionally betrayed himself and said by saying that we had two offensive players on the bench, he doesn't see Hector Jimenez as an offensive player, which is fine
because he's not,
because he's really not. But you're right. Like Hansen wasn't there. There wasn't any other options. It was another striker or nothing. And I think first game as coach, you're not going to go balls out for the win because you would rather not lose. And the only option at that point to bring on a striker is to eliminate a defender, right?
If you put in JJ Williams, then are you switching to 4-4-2? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he needs the players to be better in his base formation before he goes and switches formations.
Even with only using one substitution, there were three chances in the final 5 minutes where the Crew could have won that game. Two of them were Harrison Awful opportunities. One was another ball that I think Rubinho played in that both Jossie and Harrison Awful had a shot at that I think Luis Robles got his fingertips on. So the opportunities were there for both teams, honestly. That was a back-and-forth affair there in the last 10 minutes that was pretty entertaining if I was sober enough to remember it, and I'm not, and I wasn't. But I did watch the replay today, which seemed to be a rough game to miss because that seemed to be exciting.
I remember being excited in the last 10 minutes about what we could have done.
Yeah.
I thought it was overall an entertaining and exciting game as a 1-1 as far as the draws and 1-1 draws go.
Yeah, and
I thought it was a good game.
We saw new wrinkles. You saw Jossie much more involved in other aspects of the game than just sitting in front of the goal and poking, one-time shots in. He was on the wing. He was passing. He was dribbling.
Outside of the box a lot.
He was outside of the box. Will was getting up into the offense. There was much more of a double pivot than we're used to.
Of Will.
There were a couple
he
times.
was lucky not to get ejected.
See, I like.
Are you talking about that one where he got a yellow card?
We talked about that a little bit
Darby
during
and I
the
discussed
game.
this during the game.
And like, I don't think. So
Here
what's
comes
last
Darbs and Mike
defender?
Hudson
Is it
breakdown.
Just
because
the last defender? That's not a goalie.
because Sorrow was deeper than Trapp was.
He was.
at
but
the
if
time
he
of the foul.
If he's far enough, like I mean, I could be, even with you, but if I'm distance is not just straight line. Like
Right,
he's got to
exactly.
he's got to come across as he
I think
tracks
he
back.
had
So
a play at it, and this is all like this is what referees do. It's subjective, but
Absolutely. My commentary was if it's a foul, it's a yellow card. He's not the last defender. It's not Dogso. Salro can angle and get in there. So I didn't see any replays. I don't know whether it was a foul. I did read Will Trapp's lips on the Megatron, and he said there's nothing there.
Yeah.
But
I'm not sure.
Every player will say such a thing.
Yeah. In watching the replay in super slow-mo, I'm not entirely convinced he made contact. Now, Will slid in early. He put himself at risk by putting his...
And he did not touch the ball.
He went to the ground. He didn't touch the ball. I'm not convinced he touched the player, watching the player's feet and the way they magically angled at the end, but...
I guess you get into interpretation at that
That's
point,
the
though,
thing,
right?
like,
if you go in and you don't touch the ball, but you still impede the player's movement, even if you don't touch them.
Yeah, and you put yourself at risk by making that play. So
right?
it's
if I fall because I'm trying to leap over you and you don't touch me, I'm still falling.
Sure.
And it's because of what you did.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
he put himself in a bad situation that he probably didn't need to.
When it comes down to that kind of interpretation, could go one way or the other. I think that it's always safe to say that, like, if the crew is involved, the crew player was right. Like,
truth.
Listen, we're a good team. Like, we're a team that is solid and honest, and like the rest of the teams in the league are bad guys, and we would never do anything.
Yellow cards, then.
That's right. Well,
Jesus, 6 in a game, three yellow cards in the first 31 minutes.
Yeah,
Dissent.
I kept on saying Guido is awful. Guido is awful.
Yeah.
Every time something came up.
Don't dissent, Drabs. Last thing I'll say, and we can move on to cracking the code, is Federico Higuain doesn't age, and especially that headed pass to awful in the 84th minute. That was filthy and disgusting, and he should feel bad. Let's go around the Latin term for podcast hosts, which is table, and it doesn't matter that it says color predictions there on the screen. Let's give our color impressions.
Still in preseason form.
Of Cruisers FC versus New York and New Jersey Metro Stars. Drabs, we go to you first. Your color impressions of the match, my friend.
Don't you just recycle the same images? Why are you retyping it every time?
No, well, usually no, but we have been doing weird shows the last 5 times.
We've done one show in the last 4
years.
months.
Well, we did one show where we didn't
the one
recap
in
a goddamn
January.
game, so I had to redo the entire slide. You know what? Fuck you. Your color impression, my friend.
My color impression was gray. Gray like the clouds. It was, yeah.
Lovely. Just go ahead and jambone your fist into that.
It's all right. I'm just getting a lot of Darby in my right ear and not very much of him in my left ear.
Ooh, that sucks.
You
I
want
hate
me
to see
do
that.
you want me to inject myself into your left ear?
Please, no,
No,
God, no.
I don't think it needs to involve you at all. He controls the sound, not you. You just stay over there.
Stop trying to inject yourself into people. I asked you earlier. Mike Hudson Sucks. Your color impression of the game.
My color impression is fuck you, Darby, because that's what I was going to pick. The result was not the best, not the worst. The color of the sky that day was gray. That's my final answer.
Gray like the Ohio State Buckeye. Sean Sitar, the wetness, the wet boy. Your color impressions of the match, my friend.
I'm going to go with orange because that's the color of Mike Hudson's hat.
Is
Is it even a hat? It's not a hat at this point. It's just a...
I mean, it's on his head, Darby. What is your
It's a hat.
definition of
It's
a
like
hat?
a fucking decapitated puppet he's wearing as like a...
It's just
a
got
Bengals
mittens.
thing.
It's a bungle
Ted.
thing.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, can you please hold your hands daintily like that again?
How many
Like
playoff
a
wins has that
delicate
hat
kitty?
not been at?
See, I've had this since 2013. So
all of them.
Oh, my gosh.
yeah, I probably wore it to the playoff game against the San Diego Chargers that year.
What year was the last time that the Bengals won a playoff game?
90 season, so 1991, I believe.
Fucking
and literally, Paul Brown died in 1991, and we haven't won a playoff game since.
So did Chris Sabo.
man.
No, and he had like coaching high school or some shit. No, I think I saw an article about him recently.
No one cares. My color impression of the match, so I'm sitting next to Pam in bed on Saturday, and I says to Pam, I'm too drunk to remember tonight, Pam, so do to me what you wish. And she said, no, I don't want that. And I says, okay, my color impression of the match is the color.
Yellow Beach, Columbus Crew.
That's right, Mike Hudson Sucks, yellow.
Yellow like what?
Yellow like Columbus Crew. Fantastic. God damn it. Maybe you're going to be, you could be a permanent panelist if you didn't play with yourself right there, how you did that. Keep your hands out of your pants, shit.
That was a good adjustment because John's over there fucking with his mic stand.
Tell me what to do.
Sorry, I'll mute him again. I thought it was done. Drabs, what if I told you there was a cure for the scourge that is Sean Sitar disassembling the table while we're trying to talk about color impressions?
Is it getting so drunk you can't remember anything?
That's right, Philip Bertkey. There's only one cure for drinking all day, and it's just not giving out advice on your couch until 2 a.m. Don't take any of that advice. That's a bad idea, and I apologize very much. Yeah, knowledge.
And now,
Whoop-de-doo.
an ACES radio exclusive.
What does it all mean, Panther?
Cracking the code. They say it.
Everything we do is for the city.
What?
We explain it.
Who we are is for the city.
I understand you.
You reap the benefits.
What? They speak English and what? What? English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yeah!
And it's all for Columbus.
For Columbus, indeed. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls alike, to another edition of Cracking the Code, which was going to be called Cracking the Code, and then we paid a guy to do it, and he's like, great, and we made this. That was fine. Back to you, Ralph.
Friends of the Ralph Shadell Show can save 10% on purchases over $25 using promo code. Get ready for this. Write it down. Super hard. Ralph.
Fantastic. Looking forward to episode 17 of the Ralph Shadell Show. Can't fucking
What year is that
wait.
coming in?
So
I don't
episode
know.
16 was like April of 2018?
No, it was recently. 15 was like 4 years
more
ago.
have been recorded?
There's been one release. One release.
Well, listen, did you
Since episode 1?
Since episode 15. I believe there's 16 of them now.
Oh, I thought that one you pulled stuff from was the first one.
No, all of the spots are the same. He hasn't re-recorded any of the spots.
Oh.
Did you see that, incidentally, this season is a new high or a new low for Ralph? He literally is working
What?
for...
What does that mean?
He's working for both teams in a soccer game. So, like, the Eagles are playing, I think, the Ohio Dominican women's team.
Yeah.
And so he literally had to choose which team he was going to represent when they go head to head.
Ohio Dominican, the college?
Yeah, like, he's literally representing every fucking soccer team everywhere. And he finally has a conflict of interest, so he had to, like, pick a side.
I think it's just the
All right.
two, Darby.
Fantastic. So I goes to Michael Arace this week, and I says, Michael Arace, would you like to upset me very much in any way, shape, or form? And he says, yeah, as a matter of fact, I got this box of Connecticut pizza, which is totally different than other states' pizzas because of the soft crust. And also, there are ethnic Italians in Connecticut, and that makes it different somehow.
It exists nowhere else.
Yeah.
I must admit that since he was on here, I've seen references to Connecticut-style pizza other places.
Did you look for
I
it,
don't
or
believe
did
that.
No,
you,
I didn't.
You just saw them organically?
Yeah, I just came across them. Yeah,
Confirmation bias.
Although it seems to.
You want to see the number?
My God,
16,
Morgan,
you'll see it everywhere.
Those 2 semesters of college really paid off for you right there.
Yeah, Psych 101, bitches. What's up? I did not complete it, but it was on the essay. The
Words never spoken by
Yeah.
Big Dick Doran.
So I goes to Michael Arace and I says to him, Michael Arace, please speak into my pocket, my good boy, my good lad. And he says, Morgan, I have the following to say in 3, 2, 1.
A few internet trolls snap at Columbus for not quite filling the old stadium for the Crew's first game of the Edwards-Haslam ownership era. Snipe away. Those who jammed the mega tailgate party to celebrate the rebirth of the franchise are, at this point, pretty much troll-proof. Some of the most stalwart Save the Crew partisans were at their usual mini tailgate area on the banks on the dry culvert known as Stank Lake. They've stashed their pitchforks and doused their torches. All they do now is hug, and maybe raise a toast or two. Don't mess with Columbus. Hashtag YOLO swag 24/7 blaze. Let me speak easy.
Okay, Drabs, just get it out of the way.
Oh my God, you love to hear it.
I don't know what speakeasy means, but
See it and read it and experience it.
You want to keep going?
The most stalwart Save the Crew What was his word? Do you want to play that whole thing again? No, you don't want to play it. Oh my!
He only said it once, and then I burned it at the end.
Did you? Thankfully, there's a living record forever on the internet. That will always be a thing.
Well, okay. It's true. In print, in the Dispatch, in Ohio's greatest home newspaper today, the words mini tailgate and Stank Lake were printed and therefore cemented in all of history, and it's very upsetting.
And because they were tweeted, that means they're now in the Library of Congress.
Tweeted them. Sorry.
I mean, it's impossible to say who might have tweeted any of those mentions. I believe Peach Jones, actually, to his credit, was the guy who made me aware of it. So, yeah,
disgusting and gross and failing and sad. No, so let's take this opportunity to talk about the. We don't need to talk about the attendance thing. We don't need to defend ourselves against the fuckboys from Austin or
thank God
or anyone else. You're right. You know, there's 6 of them. Let them talk.
What are we talking about then?
So this is going to happen all year long, lads. Every time we have a home game, and there can be 90% capacity like there was on Saturday, and a lot of factors play into this. It was cold. There was cold air. Drops.
It really wasn't that cold out.
It wasn't that cold, but there were a lot of people watching from the upper 90. There were a lot of people watching on the concourses, so you weren't going to see.
There are always a lot of people on the concourses at our stadium.
Yeah, they were like 3 deep
right?
above the Nordeck.
Yeah, if you've never been here, you really just don't understand it. Like, I mean,
you don't get it. You can't see it on TV.
All 4 corners, there is immense amounts of people.
So, Draps, let's go to you first. To those who are wondering how they should deal with the internet trolls that talk about attendance, what would you say to them?
What internet trolls? There's this thing called a mute button on Twitter. It's fucking fantastic. I love it. Yeah, you can just not see people who are going to piss you off. The thing is, just keep coming to games. Just keep having a good damn time at the games. Enjoy, invite your friends, but realize that we now have ownership. Dr. Pete, how many fucking radio shows and podcasts has he done in the past 3 weeks?
I think the real question is, how many surgeries has he not been doing? Jesus, Pete. People are ailing here.
When you see things like, the ownership and front office are showing up at bars to hang out, and we just had a week full of announcements, like anything from community engagement activities to radio deals to fucking everything. Like, this is going places.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. There's going to be like a build-up. The shit's going to take time because they're still behind the 8 ball. They're understaffed and overworked and busting their asses. We're going to get there.
And some of the stuff is just going to take time regardless of the staffing situation, things like that. I mean, a lot of those bridges and things like that aren't going to be rebuilt overnight. Mm-hmm. Some of this stuff you may not see the fruits of until next season.
Right. Some of the stuff's going to take a while. Just enjoy it and build off of it, because the thing is, like, changes are already happening. We actually have porta potties to piss in, and like, this is a good thing. And when you do good things to support a good team, people come and hang out. If it's an enjoyable experience, they're going to want to be a part of it. And also, we don't have to bust fucking narratives anymore because we just spent 1.5 years doing it.
Yep.
So just keep going. Keep enjoying it. I plan on really relishing not engaging with trolls anymore.
Especially those trolls that we have defeated. Mm-hmm. It's been 1.5 years of their relentless trolling of us. Well, you're going to pick now to engage you shitheads?
Well, I mean, they've got a lot of free time because they don't have a fucking team on the field.
That's right.
Austin Bold starts in less than a month.
They have a nice yellow jersey, too.
Do they? Are the jerseys out yet?
They've got like fucking 5 jerseys.
But you can't buy them.
No, it's 3 and then 2 goalie jerseys, I think, Darby.
Okay.
But you can't buy them yet. That's my thing. I've been looking to buy an Austin Bold jersey.
I saw the picture of the 5 that you were talking about, though, all together.
Yeah, and they look nice. They're sharp jerseys.
I'm going to go on there.
Yeah, they had vertical
Austin
stripes, right? Wasn't it vertical stripes? I didn't really like their jersey sponsor. It didn't sit well on those
it's like a hospital that they're partnering with for their medical needs.
Yeah, I've got nothing against the sponsor. I just mean like how it sits on the jersey. I'm just critiquing the design of the jersey.
Sure.
Yeah, the jerseys still aren't available on their website. Just T-shirts and hats and.
Yeah, it was just yesterday that kits were revealed.
Yeah, because
it was literally yesterday.
They announced the sponsorship deal. I think. At the
Well,
same time.
Seton Healthcare. Well, today, this is a one-day-old tweet. Today, we hosted Austin Bold FC for a kit reveal.
Yeah, I know. The jerseys were revealed sometime last year.
Partnership as official jersey sponsor.
They didn't have the jersey sponsor last year.
Yeah. And wasn't their announcement at the University of Texas?
The announcement of the jersey?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a good thing you should partner with and have positive relationships with if you're going to be in Austin.
Boom. Roasted.
Here's the jerseys, though. There's only 4 of them. There were just 2 men wearing the same one.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the same ones from last year.
I mean, that's so. Is that 2 goalie jerseys? How's that working?
I'm guessing it's the red and green, or I mean, green and white vertical stripes and black and green vertical stripes are probably their home and away, and then the yellow and red are probably the goalies.
Yeah, I mean they're nice looking, especially for
I'm just guessing.
USL.
Yeah. The point is the same thing that Michael Arace said in the Dispatch. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Be troll proof
Victory
at this
lap.
point. Yeah. I mean,
fucking enjoy this. Don't waste any of your emotional capacity on this shit.
Listen, I mean, they are getting the owner that shat on us for the last 5 years. Is somebody getting pulled over and getting a DUI test out there?
They've been out there for a while, and at one point, someone took a picture of the front of the other person's car. So I don't know if they hit each other or what, but I wish they would do it farther away from my car.
Oh yeah, there's the
and now there's a cop here.
So, yeah.
Okay, so they must have rear-ended each other.
A cop minivan.
Nice. Oh yeah, look at the front of that girl's car. It's fucked.
Mike, you're finally being arrested for public indecency.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it took long enough.
The front is all
Never
smashed.
catch me, copper.
Damn.
Yeah, they must have rear-ended each other right out here. Anyways,
they're both very fashion.
That's what I was looking
John.
at earlier when you were giving me that weird look. Because the car looked like it was parked, and then this woman just walks out of nowhere and takes a picture of what I thought was the license plate, and then walks away. And I was like, "That's weird."
Well, if she had been listening to us, she would have known.
And knowing is half the battle.
Say what again?
He's absolutely right.
Say what one more goddamn time.
I'm sorry. There are people getting in accidents out. We're next to a window, and we can. The police are here.
Darby,
we didn't hear it.
Oh, just reach behind you and lift that thing. Let that thing fly up.
Let the blinds fly up, and then we can all just overtly stare at them.
Fan-fucking-tastic. It's not anything different we've been doing all night. Man Balls of the Week, Drabs, I remind you as always, a combination of Man of the Match and Game Balls, which as a term is too long as opposed to this explanation, which is perfectly formed. We go to you first. Your 2 Man Balls of the Week, my friend.
First Man Ball, we talked about it before, Gaston Sorrow. Good job, big man. You had a good game. Got your first goal. Comeback of the century. Well on your way to proving us right as the Crew Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Well done. Second Man Ball, Dr. Pete. Dude, I read the story about him. So he said he was flying down 71 at 5:45 in the morning to try and hit that sunrise toast.
Yeah.
Where the fuck was he that he was on 71?
I was thinking about that, too.
An hour and 15 minutes before sunrise thinking he was going to be late.
Yeah.
Was he up in Cleveland?
Coming from UA, too.
I
That's
don't
where he
know what's
lives.
happening. But
How do you get
anyway,
on 71 from there?
regardless, my ass was not at the parking lot at 7 o'clock in the morning because
The night
fuck
before
that.
was Christmas Eve. Who knows where he crashed?
Oh, that's true. he hitched a ride with somebody.
Maybe he passed out at Frankie's in Westerville for all we fucking know. Who knows?
That is very possible. Yeah.
All right. Second Man Ball to Pete Edwards.
That was well done, sir. You are inspiring Crew fans.
He never
everywhere.
ceases to amaze, man. Every opportunity he just knocks out of the park. Mike Hudson Sucks. He certainly does. Your 2 Man Balls of the Week.
Well, I also give one to Dr. Pete. And I give the other one to whoever's bright idea it was to do the sunrise. Was it Cheers? Whose idea was that? Was that Keith Nuss?
It was Orb Gardney.
Charles says Orb Gardney, so your Man Ball is invalid. There's no way Orb Gardney ever gets credit.
sorry, you
Well,
only
Orb
get one
Gardney
Man
is
Ball this
already
week.
a ball, as evidenced by his name. So.
That's very funny.
No, it wasn't.
You're getting called up from the minor leagues of Podcast for Columbus with that kind of shit. Sean Zatar, the wetness, the wet boy, your 2 Man Balls of the Week.
I'm going to give both of my man balls to the same thing. Because they're going to need both of them to evenly distribute them and have everybody get
David
enough
Beckham
of them.
statue?
But I'm going to just give my man balls to the city of Columbus, who not only showed up for the Crew game, but also showed up for a bunch of other sporting events that are happening all around the city that day, which is really cool. I read that article. I think it was by Mike.
Yeah, it was later in his column.
Yeah, which was yes, yeah. It was great. It was really fun, really cool. I didn't even know some of those things were happening, but it was great to see how many people were out and just enjoying the city of Columbus and supporting our various sports teams that day. So
enjoy our city. It was Portland.
I yelled that at someone.
Did you?
On Saturday. I don't remember who I yelled that at. Yeah, but yeah.
Another man ball to Cody Sherritt. My first man ball goes to Federico Higuain, as they say on the Match Report podcast. He does not age. Like we said earlier, that no-look backwards head pass to Harry was fucking filthy nasty.
Yeah, I masturbated to that.
Yeah. I read in someone's article, maybe Andrew King's article, that the guys in the locker room for the Red Bulls were like, that guy's disgusting. That guy's gross.
Really?
Yeah, when the Red Bulls were like, oh, yeah, he totally fucking scored on that guy.
One. It's just so... when it happened, I was like... I had Guillermo flashbacks. Yeah. Because it's that level of, like, genius brilliance.
Like, the vision to make that.
He called for that cross, too. Yeah. It wasn't just a cross that, like, came to him and he figured out what to do with it. He called for it before it was even kicked.
Perhaps the talk of the Federico Higuain goodbye farewell tour were premature, Sean. Perhaps. My second man ball of the week goes to Andres Mendoza of Cruisers FC for being possibly the greatest player in franchise history, and that is it, Drabs. That is it for segment 1.
The farewell tour can't be as successful as I predicted it would be without stuff like that, though.
Well, you can't have a farewell tour if you get a new contract every fucking year.
We'll see.
Speaking of the city of Columbus, they should get another man ball for showing up and ruining Cracking the Code for us this week. Taking accent reports at Zauber Brewing Company, or whatever this fucking place is called. Pier 1 Brewing Company. Roasted. If you've enjoyed the shitlordery and the tiger hats on segment 1, I've got some great news for you. We're coming back on segment 2. Mike Hudson Sucks is here. He's here to suck all over your podcast ears. You're listening to the podcast known as ACES Radio.
Can you stop and re-record that and make that never happen, please?
He's here to suck all over your podcast ears. Jesus fucking Christ.
The way we kick it in the dojo is local for show, though we paving the road that's opposed to the dojo. Going over your head like a top hat. Stop that. I know you hear me spitting these hot raps. Now watch that beat, cause it's about to drop. The Rockets is the 09 jump off. Yeah, yo. Last name Pan, first name Peter. I know you see me playing and you want me to teach you, but I say elevated so that all God's creatures can hear me shout it out like my name is Aretha. Getting R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Fly by, see the looks on your faces, cause I'm in full E-F-F-E-C-T. Jet setting on a daily basis. David F. Man, you don't stop. David, you won't stop. We came to rock it till the city takes off. Mr. Captain, yeah. Ace Pilot, yeah. I want to spin my wings and fly. To all the people in coach, yeah. And to my first class folks, yeah. We'll show you how to scrape the sky. Yeah. As the curvature of the earth takes shape, fly fast forward like a videotape and no cape. Just follow my jet stream, proud in the clouds on the boom in the precinct. I'll have no trampoline, black box in the pocket of my jet jeans. Shine with the stars so bright, even NYC sees me. Get that?
Oh yeah, baby. Ignorant sluts, shitlords, celebrity fans, crew union founders, and members alike, and all you fools listening on your iPhones, don't forget to charge up your mobile bees for the e-life. Get at me at EMLS. Hashtag hashtag joy controller. Mobile B, mobile battery. Gotta play my e-games on my phone, Drabs. Looking for my Pokemans.
Middle for the win.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I don't sound like the oldest person on this podcast right now.
Yo, dog, if you can't be down with a mobile B, then you can't be down with mobile me. Brought to you as always by Blood and Urine. My name is fellow kid Carol Seaver. Thank Christ the Columbus police have left the parking lot. Feel free to whip your genitals back out, Mike Hudson. You certainly do suck. Here we are on episode 111. It is segment 2. We welcome in the aforementioned Mike Hudson back to the program. And before I'm not even going to play the applause button. I just want you to... We alluded to it on segment 1 before I said you were going to lay your suck all over our ear holes or whatever it was. Talk to us.
Made it worse.
It really did. Talk to us about your outfit. Like, you took a picture of yourself wearing this outfit and sent it to your wife, and your wife was
correct.
like,
I do such things.
You thought this was a good idea, this.
I didn't even know Mike Hudson was married.
I didn't either until he said that.
You look at him
My
and he's
wife's-
like, oh, clearly no woman would want anything to do with him.
No, I didn't have that assumption. I just had no idea.
My wife's on Twitter, but she's kind of introvert, so she doesn't like. She's not in photos with me that she lets me post on the internet and stuff like that. So
Sounds very Mike Coonish.
That's a word on the street.
Yeah.
It's a Mike thing, apparently.
Anyway, so
It is.
my shirt. This is a London Spitfires shirt.
It says London Spitfires.
London Spitfire. They are an esports team. They
my
play in the
fucking God.
Overwatch League. So, yes.
And
yes,
you
Ted.
paid for this thing?
Well, it was a
Yes.
birthday gift, but yes.
It
Imagine
was
how it
paid
charged.
for. Like somebody said,
speaking.
you know what I need to give my hard-earned dollars for?
Yes,
Is
I
a
need to rep my team.
jersey.
Is it a T-shirt or is it a jersey?
How much does a jersey cost,
Okay.
Mike? Just curious.
Is it authentic or replica?
Can't remember. This is the
They only have replicas.
whichever is the more expensive one. Authentic.
They
They
do
do?
have.
They have different?
They have different ones. Yeah. So Overwatch League is a unique league in esports.
I bet it'll be gone in
Never
3 years.
before, potentially.
Maybe.
I mean, when Overwatch 2 comes out or something, I don't know.
What's
But
Overwatch?
Overwatch? It's an FPS game,
What is FPS?
first-person shooter.
Okay.
It's like so two teams of 6 dudes get together and try to kill each other.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I've played with John before.
Wait,
Or maybe-
that sounds like
Gross.
masturbation club.
It's not that
I don't
different.
know, Darby. You tell us
except
more
with
about the
brighter
masturbation
colors.
club you go to.
So the idea is
Quickly, very
esports
quickly.
has
Please
never
do this
been,
quickly.
been
Let's
like
spend a half hour on this,
city based.
Yeah.
So there's like London Spitfire, New York Excelsior,
Oh my
Boston
God.
Uprising.
Awful.
Robert Kraft owns Boston Uprising. By
Oh,
the
yeah,
way.
he
Mike,
does.
So
Why
That's
is it
pretty
city-based
cool.
when it's online gaming? Couldn't they literally be fucking anywhere?
they literally are fucking anywhere.
So why are they tied to a city?
Actually,
Especially Robert Kraft.
all the games are played in Los Angeles. Anyway, so
Quickly.
for marketing purposes, right? So if you're in Los Angeles, you choose one of the Los Angeles teams. If you
What's
you
the
know,
Columbus team's name?
None.
there is no Midwest team, so that's why I picked London.
The correct answer was
Yellow Beach, Columbus Crew.
Skeets McTaz.
Anyway, so the other thing that it does is there are in-game connections to Overwatch League.
Oh my
So
God, no.
those are the things that make Overwatch League unique. I never really got into esports before they created this gigantic league for, well, probably my current favorite game.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't get into it either. Okay. Jesus Christ. Mike,
That was a long story to describe to explain your jersey.
Yeah, I mean, my goal today is
Can I
not
join the
only...
Lego
Which they're making
Batman
fun
League?
of you for, but I will not shame you for owning that. So.
I'm not fucking
You
shaming
can't
you.
shame
I just
me.
don't want to
It's
hear
literally
about
impossible. But, you know, my goal today is not only to make this the actual last pod episode ever, but to make this the last actual podcast ever. I want this
Can we get that
to be
cop
so
back here,
bad.
please? Will that police officer please
I
come
want to
back?
make this episode so bad that podcasting as a genre dies.
it. You think you can make ACES Radio
So
worse?
hold on a second. Your objective is to ruin the show, so by doing that you dressed up like that? You know this is an audio medium, right?
Can we give him a small amount of credit for the fact that, weirdly, his fucked up hat matches his fucked up jersey?
matches his shirt, yeah.
Oh my
So
god! Was that a deliberate choice?
Since
Did you coordinate your
since
tiger
there
hat?
is no Midwest team, I couldn't hook onto a Chicago team. I just picked the orange and blue team. So
Okay.
Quickly,
Okay.
says Morgan.
Okay, moving on.
Morgan, would you like to talk about this some more?
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Mary and Joseph.
What's your
again.
second favorite esports league?
I don't know. EMLS is the only other one I kind of follow.
Nope. Moving on. Jesus God. Moving on.
Follow
How would Mike? No.
Barry?
Just sprinkle that shit in the rest of the show. Oh, I thought it wasn't his bear skin, although it was pale enough that I thought that it was.
That's true.
Also, there are two dudes sitting outside looking at us like we have lost our goddamn minds.
Not wrong.
I'm just gonna continue face this way. Maybe they won't recognize me from behind. It's on.
Okay, thank Christ. I've never been happier to see an EMLS shirt or whatever the fuck. Let's start you off with the same question in a whole shitload of fabric that we give to and ask of all of our celebrity fans, and that is, how would crew fans know you?
So, my name is Mike. I always introduce myself at Mini Tailgate and Mega Tailgate as Mike Hudson Sucks. So, if you know me, that's probably how you know me.
Because it's your Twitter handle and your lifestyle brand.
Correct. I always like to wear an interesting hat. My favorite hat currently is the one I'm wearing. But I go with a McDonald Drumfigan hat. And I'll probably be wearing that to most of the games until...
You wear that, and it is such a dead knockoff, a dead ringer for the Make America Great Again shirt hat, that every time I see it, I'm like,
yeah,
right?
I did that again on Saturday, knowing that full damn well what it said and that you owned it last year.
Yes, exactly.
I was walking back to my car, and someone interrupted me. He said he has the same hat. And he was playing baseball, and the first ball that was to him was way outside, and the ump called it a strike. He's like, "What?" It's like, "Wear a different hat next time, bro." Even though he didn't wear it, and it was an anti-Trump hat, but he thought it was a pro-Trump hat, so he called it a strike.
Oh, no shit. See, dude,
No
that's
shit.
what I'm talking about. You're going to get shit from people. Have you gotten shit from people thinking it was a real MAGA hat?
I haven't gotten shit from people, but one lady at Burger King, yes, I go to Burger King, said, "I like your hat and I commend you for wearing it." And I don't think she actually read it.
No, definitely not.
No, she probably...
Because they can't read.
Yeah.
That's why that joke's funny.
Someone else...
Morgan, I like this podcast better before you got all political.
Save it for segment 3, Redditor. All right. Yeah, there's a hot take about us being too political. I mean, this is the most we've talked about politics other than just like not wanting children locked in cages. I guess maybe that's too right wing or left wing for big soccer. But Mike, tell us this. We know you're from the land down under. Where be you from? Exactly.
I was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. Not Kentucky. Never lived in Kentucky. I lived in Pennsylvania for 3 years, but that was in the 90s.
That was a work release program. Yeah.
That is correct. When I was 8 years old, they let me out of
Yeah,
prison.
they released you from those jails that Trump kids...
Because even then, public nudity was still a crime.
Yeah, no shit. We can sense you're going to have an inappropriate
That penis is
avatar.
offensive and doesn't look like it's going to get bigger.
And it didn't. You grows up in Cincinnati. So let me just be a typical person from Cincinnati, if I could. Where'd you go to high school?
I expected you to fart Skyline.
I went to Loveland High School. That's in. If you're not familiar with Cincinnati, then there's a loop, and then there's I-71 that comes out, and it's basically Loveland is where I-71 meets the loop on the northeast corner of Cincinnati.
What does that mean, Loveland? Is it is that somewhere where someone would be proud of being from, or is this a shame type of situation?
That near the castle?
Is that the Sharonville area?
I've been to that castle.
It's a few times over from Sharonville. Okay. Most people are proud to be from Loveland.
Is it? Are you saying Loveland?
Loveland.
L-O-V-E.
Okay.
Land.
Loveland.
Loveland.
Like people that are new to town say Loveland. No.
Like
Loveland.
that estate that Doran owns, Loveland.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Ohio. We destroy any recognizable name and make it sound like something it's
Absolutely.
not. So, yeah, for sales.
So as I look at you, you're not just an EMLS. You're not just always working on your charged up mobile B, as they say, to make sure that you can play your mobile e-games.
What is a mobile B?
It's a mobile battery, John. That's what we call it now.
Oh my God! I literally
It's his mobile butthole.
No. It's a mobile B. Yo, dog, can I
No one's called
Can I
it
charge
that.
up on that mobile B?
Has anyone ever called it that?
Oh yeah, dude. We're
Is
calling
that
it
an
now.
old man term?
Wait,
No,
can we get?
I don't know any old man.
Is that like what they called them when they first came out and I didn't know?
Look it up, Drabs, and let us know what results come up.
Drabs, can you
and
Google
don't tell us.
mobile B? Now, Morgan, how do you spell it?
Just how you
Is
normally
it just the
would.
letter B by itself, or is it
Yeah.
like BE?
No,
The
it's
first
a normal
result
B.
that comes up is mobile.bg, which is some sort of like
No, we don't
Russian
say that.
website.
Don't click on that.
Then mobile banking.
Yo,
then
have you ever heard someone
mobile
say,
cell phone store?
"Yo, dog, can I get a chart? Yo,
This
dog,
is
can I have
literally
this charge
not
off of
fucking
that?" Mobile B.
What happened to you that's making
This
you do
is
this?
literally not a thing.
Who asked you for a
fucking-
hit off your mobile B that's
my
making you
God.
make this joke?
No, I would ask them because I'm trying.
Your
to live
jokes
that
always
life.
come from something. So why
Google
is this
knows
happening?
everything, and Google doesn't know what the fuck mobile B is.
Alex and I were making fun of EMLS.
I knew
when we
it
were
was something.
setting
I
up.
knew it was something.
We were doing Skeets McTass impressions.
Why? Because
but-
he was here?
No,
or
we're
unrelated to him.
Unrelated. We're setting up the Nordac on Friday, and neither one of us plays video games, so we don't know any of the lingo. And I was like, "Yo, dog, I gotta get home and charge up that mobile B if I'm gonna win those mobile prizes." I don't know anything.
None of that makes sense, and that's probably why it's funny.
Back to you, Mike. So you grows up getting ready to charge up that Mobile B. You're a London plane rider.
By the way, the London Spitfire is a plane. So
Spitfire.
That's anyone who can't see my shirt is not going to get that joke that Morgan just made.
Because nothing says modern internet gaming like a World War II reference.
It's a reference to London, like the plane was developed in London.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the concept because I was alive during World War II.
Oh, it's in reference to
Darby,
London,
you're
how
wearing
they
a
have
Captain
planes.
America shirt, but no one would mistake your flabby form for Chris Evans.
Nobody would mistake me for Steve Rogers. Thank you very much.
Whatever.
Maybe
Chris Evans.
No one
would
would
die
mistake you for
someday.
Chris Evans either.
Not even pre-injection.
Yeah, no. Okay, so Mike, were you always a soccer person, or were you just like a generally a person who rooted for teams?
I started playing soccer in 91 or 92 when I was living in Pennsylvania, continued when I was back here. I watched a lot of World Cup 94, and then I heard that the league was starting up, and I did not watch a single game. And I feel kind of bad about it.
Because it was lame.
But
till when, though? Till when? Didn't watch a single game the first year, or till like 2 years ago? Just curious.
Until 2010 is when I went. That's when I went and watched my very first Columbus Crew game. It was against Chivas USA. We got a penalty in like the 89th or 90th minute and won 1-0.
But this entire time you've been a soccerman and you just waited till...
Yeah, I mean...
You were like, I'm going to pass on the 2008 season,
That's
2009 season.
Well, it's not like he was-
2010 is the place to be.
It's not like he was here. I mean, he was slumming it up down
Yeah,
in
but
Loveville.
if you're into something, you'd think you'd tune in. What was it that
We're
was
not
keeping
judging
you?
you, but-
No, I'm not judging you. Just what kept you from liking this? You liked the sport, but what kept you from watching the league that was in America?
I never was into like pro soccer as a thing, but I loved playing it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just the way.
So you
I
weren't
was.
like sitting at home watching EPL or Bundesliga.
Yeah,
you weren't watching any soccer. You were just
Right.
playing it.
You were busy watching the Bengals suck.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I mean, if you'd had asked me in 1998, I probably could have told you that I couldn't have told you about the name of a pro league. I probably thought that it was just something that a bunch of guys got together every 4 years and played a big international tournament. I couldn't have told you there was club soccer at all. That's
Yeah,
just
that makes
the
sense.
level
I could have told you some stuff about the Crew, but other than that, I would have said DC United is great, and I don't know fucking shit about anything else.
Not living in Columbus. I mean, I lived in Dayton at that point, so I had no fuck. Like, I had an awareness that Columbus had a team, but I couldn't have.
Right. I mean, put yourself back in that
player on
position
roster.
in 1998. Yeah. I mean, there was fucking nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, computers were the size of
You weren't seeing
my Mobile B.
Right, like you
at that
weren't
point.
getting Crew games on television in Cincinnati at that point.
By the time that computers were the size of your Mobile B, I
That's
mean
right.
that you're talking about a phone, and that was not 1998.
Your Mobile
That's
B
exactly
is
what I'm
pretty
talking about,
expensive,
Mike. Thank you for
Wait,
specifying.
a Mobile B is a phone?
It could be anything really.
I still think this is a reference to his butthole.
Yeah,
if we're
yeah.
going to be honest, I think
Yeah.
Why would I
Mobile B means your.
Why would
butt.
I specify about the mobility of
Alex
my
said,
butthole?
"I'll see." They were in the Nordic. He said this.
Yeah.
Alex said, "This has been great. I'll see you at Endeavor on Wednesday." Morgan said, "Of course." Alex said, "You gonna bring that Mobile B?"
It's like, I need to charge up my Mobile B
got
so it's
real
ready.
And
for
Morgan
later.
said, "Well, it's attached to me, so yeah, it'll be there."
Yeah.
I mean, we do know that the Mobile B does discharge.
Yeah.
From
It
time
does,
to time.
yeah.
And
Yes.
you- on
Sometimes there are
command-
two
Yeah,
holes.
you got to plug it in every once in a while. You know,
Yeah.
keep the charge up.
We call
Charge
it
it
the
up.
2-hole Mobile B, but we use the number 2 and we write it because of shorthand in the internet. Mike, tell us how you go us to the Crew game in 2010, and we beat the Goats 1-0 or 0, as they say in the industry. What made you go to that game? How'd you get interested?
So, if you didn't think I was a nerd before,
No,
then,
we did.
No, we
this
did.
is not going to help.
Okay.
Do you remember the very origins of internet chat? A protocol called IRC.
Yeah.
Well, in 2008, I finally got on IRC. I never got on it before because a bunch of my friends that I knew from a website were getting on it, and we would sit at work and we would chat with each other on IRC, like literally the oldest internet chat service.
Why didn't you just use like AOL Instant Messenger, something that had already existed now for like years at this point.
Good question.
They're being ironic.
Because we were gigantic nerds. That's why.
Yeah, that was some
and
serious
so
nerdcore.
there was a guy that lives here in Columbus that was in that channel, and he said, "Hey, we need to get together and we need to go to a Columbus Crew game." And
no shit.
How many of these friends are dead?
We need to get together. He was totally hitting you up for the rest stop of love.
Yeah,
you know this, right?
Mike, we totally need to get together for a crew game. Bring your mobile B.
Poopy pants.
How did you know? So he said, "Hey, when can you come up?" And I was like, "All right, when's the next game?" And so I came up for that. I came up for another one the next year, 2011. We played Chicago Fire, and they scored in like the 85th minute, and Columbus Crew lost 1-0.
2011 was not
depressing.
a great year.
Huh?
2011 was not a great year.
No. And what AJ told me was that Chicago was famous for that, for scoring in like the 89th minute, and that by then it's too late to come back. And apparently they did that a lot that year.
It's a word on the street.
Yeah. Word on the street.
Don't do that, please. All right, so you get onto a goddamn chat service from the 80s.
Right, and some pedophile.
We were nerds,
Chris
but not
Hansen.
nerdy enough to know it existed 20 years ago.
Chris Hansen meets you at the crew game, and Bridgeview Fire.
Always just coming to
Sir,
this
it
game to
looks
make
like
sure
you have
others
fruit
did it.
snacks and a mobile bee. What do you think is going on here today?
Take us to the bar here, please, sir.
And then, so 2014, World Cup rolls around. I have some friends at work. I have a bunch of friends from work that are from other countries, from Ghana, from Kenya, etc. And we get together. We watch the U.S. men's national team games, at least the ones that are on at work while we're at work, etc. And right after that, one of them says, "Hey, you want to pick like Premier League teams?" And I'm like, "Sure." He's like, he's already an Arsenal fan, so I can't pick that, thank God. I was this close to picking Chelsea because she sounds hot, and then one of them said they're basically the Yankees of the Premier League, and I'm like, hell no. And I end up with Liverpool after that because I was in love with Raheem Sterling, and we had him for another year. And I still have a Raheem Sterling 14-15 jersey that I didn't get until like February, and he was with us for 2 more years.
Is that how you met Mike Burkle and aren't they Arsenal people? Or I'm sorry, aren't they Liverpool people?
No, Rambo Gunnar, totally a Liverpool guy.
Liverpudlian, I believe is the term.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gunnar, I get it. All right, it's Liverpool. Or I'm sorry, what? Arsenal? Arsenal. Yeah,
yes.
Jesus, I'm so. John, hand me my mobile B, please.
Or you just really stuck your mobile bee in your own mouth there.
Robert Kraft would pay $70 for that.
Oh shit!
So I go to a series of games, probably 4 games between July and the playoff game 2014. I go to the opening game 2015.
Are you going to tell us every single game that you've attended?
No, I like this.
And the final score and when they scored.
The Cruisemas 2015, and I go to several games that year. But that's when I do meet Burkle and Stephen Williams down at Rhine House. Indeed. And
this is before they were doing their highly successful
Right?
podcast.
Yeah. Why aren't you on
before.
that? Like, you're actually the best suited for that podcast because
they didn't ask me. I don't know.
I mean, that was probably smart on their part. Don't get me wrong.
Can't argue with this.
Yeah. No. Like, you literally have a foot in each.
That's
like,
for sure.
base, so anyway, sorry not to interrupt, but I interrupted.
So I mean, 2016, I get season tickets only because so I can get MLS Cup final tickets. So they had a set of.
So you didn't get a cup final in 2015 ticket?
He bought them in 2015. So
you bought the 2016 one so you could go to the 20. I see.
The season ticket rep was hounding me all year. It's like, hey, blah blah blah. So my Twitter profile picture is from when he let me be down at Fieldside before a game. He was trying to sell me tickets and say, hey, you could have this for $250 a game next year.
$250 a game. That's a terrible fucking
for a
deal.
crew game.
Apparently, yeah.
You can sit field side and not have any fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah.
And get a ball to the face every 12 seconds or
right.
whatever. Because we all know that all those sideline seats get balls to the face.
Well, before, during, or after the game. It doesn't matter.
Yes, correct. And so I've been a season ticket holder for 3 years, and I've also been an FC Cincinnati season ticket holder for 3 years. This is the 4th year of both.
Now stop right there, because this is the gooey insides of what makes you.
This is the mobile bee of
Is
the
this,
interview.
is this why you wanted me to be here?
We
So
wanted
can
to
talk
get
about
into
FC
the
Cincinnati?
gooey center of what makes you you. This is because
The-
this is
the
interesting.
Venus.
This is the year. We've talked about it for a couple of years now. We said FC Cincinnati fans are. A lot of people have said they're going to have a decision to make. I've never been one of them. Some
I know
of them
this.
do.
We've talked about this before.
Now, talk to us about what happened when FC Cincinnati got announced. When it got announced, when you figured that they would someday end up in MLS. You're already a Crew fan, but your hometown team now is going to have an MLS team. What's going through your head both then and now? How are you feeling?
So then I was just like, well, I don't care. Whatever someone else tells me I've got to do, if it makes sense, I'll do it. If it doesn't make sense, I won't do it. And in this case, telling me that I have to cheer for one over the other doesn't make sense. So I don't care. For me, nobody seemed to care the last 3 years because we weren't in the same league. We only played each other once. And I actually was not even at that game. I was on vacation in Minnesota at the time.
As one does.
As one does.
Hot spot for vacation in midsummer is Minnesota.
Oh no, this is one of the best vacations that one can take.
Right, like because you love mosquitoes. And you
I
love
feel like
being
we should do
eaten
a
alive
deep
by
dive
them.
and you can explain
that's
why.
all right.
that
Okay, you
is
were in
the
Minnesota.
case.
That's fine.
It's a week-long fishing trip.
Sometimes people go there.
And a lot of it's a family reunion.
Oh,
I don't
great.
get to see a whole lot of
Awesome.
those people more
Yeah,
than
people do that
every other
sometimes.
year.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine.
He goes on a long week-long family reunion where they fish.
It's awesome.
And
Sounds
we watch
relaxing.
Overwatch League together? No.
No, that's great. Yeah, I'm sure
They
that's-
wear funny tiger hats.
Yeah, no, I'm great.
So-
That's fine.
What are other things you hate? They touch each other just like on
They
the
watch
shoulder.
Michigan football games. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
No, they touch each other on the face.
Oh yeah, they do.
It's definitely,
Okay.
it's a
They
Minnesota
actually
greeting.
rub faces.
Yeah.
Cheek to cheek.
But don't touch each other. He's touching
Feels so
Darby's
good.
face right
oh
now.
Oh my god, I love it. Oh.
Okay, enough.
Okay, great. So back to the choice thing or whatever
Fuck
we were talking about.
me in the butt.
Fuck me in the mobile bee.
Mike, I want to talk to you about
Such a good podcast.
what's going on in the Cincinnati Rough Lads fan base right now. There are a lot of existing Columbus Crew fans down in the Queen City. Are there people holding guns to each other's heads going, make a decision? What's happening?
No. I don't see it. I have a handful of friends down there that have just refused to follow FC Cincinnati or cheer for FC Cincinnati.
Wow.
They say you don't change your team. Most of them are from, not dead heart of Cincinnati. They're from the outskirts. And, it's easy enough to get to games up here in Columbus.
What's your
But that's
ticket
only a
situation,
handful.
incidentally?
What's my
Like,
situation?
What's your ticket situation?
He just told us, Darby. He's a full season ticket over the last 3 years.
I know, but so this season, do you
This
have full
season, I'm a
season
full
This would be
season
his
ticket
4th
holder
year.
in
for
FC
both teams?
God, pay attention during the interview,
Shut the fuck
Greg.
up. Shut up.
And Mike talking to the microphone. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you're
Sorry,
too.
I thought I was-
There you go. You
Yeah.
got to turn it to you.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm
always afraid I'm too loud. So
No,
we
you
would
are
let you
usually.
know.
Yeah.
fair.
Thank you.
So you have full season tickets for both teams?
No.
No.
I'm a 10-game ticket pack holder for Columbus Crew because I only made it to maybe 10, 11, 12 games last year because there were conflicts and, poops. And I asked...
Can you tell me? That's
asked-
got to be a dude drop.
thank you.
Yeah, poops.
Please. Please, Julie. Julie, please. Mike just took his glasses off. The shirt's coming next.
Jesus.
How is it people listen to this? I still don't understand. Morgan is fucking dying over here because of poops.
It was just so matter of fact.
There he went.
Yeah, of course. Yep. Poops naturally.
Poops from the Mobile Bee.
Oh shit!
That's the sound the Mobile Bee makes when it's not charged.
To destroying the
Oh, my
podcast
God.
medium.
Let me get this back on the rails and ask you the question directly, and we will not interrupt you when you answer it. All right, we've all agreed yes, poops. So
wait, did we vote on this?
no.
He's a 10-match season ticket holder.
John, I'd like to make a motion to have a vote.
Is there going? Do you foresee a point where you personally and possibly even FC Rough Lads at large will be forced to make a decision? Because we're going to be in the same league for a number of years now.
I have already made the decision that I'm going to stay loyal to both. Right? So what I've done is I'm going to cheer for whatever jersey I'm wearing. We literally, as sports fans, we cheer for laundry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
you get to choose.
Jerry Seinfeld bit.
What jersey you wear?
Yeah. Today I'm cheering for London Spitfire, even though we don't actually play today.
Of course we don't.
No, we don't. So that means whatever the home team is, I'm cheering for them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's literally the approach you're going to take to
Yes.
it. Go Cincinnati and go Columbus, except for on the days that they're playing each other, in which case go whichever one's at home.
Uh-huh.
So what about a scenario where they're battling for a final playoff spot? They're not playing each other, but they're playing independently, and the results determine who gets into the playoffs and who doesn't. Or maybe they're playing for who's going to be tops in the East. Obviously not this season, but...
I love these kinds of things, right? And I love the strategy that what you flip a coin, and before the coin, while the coin's in the air, you know the true answer to what you hope to be, right?
What?
I hear you. Yeah.
Like if you're trying, I said it wrong, right? Okay, but if you're trying to,
Which one of us just had a stroke? Because I'm not sure if it's me or John.
If you're trying to pick
somebody definitely.
By the way, I understood completely exactly what John meant.
Oh, it's almost worse that Mike understood me perfectly.
Okay, John had the stroke. If Mike understands him.
So, when you were trying to decide between two things and you can't come to a conclusion, you go to flip a coin. But you're not actually flipping the coin to decide. You're flipping the coin because when the coin's in the air, you will know what you really want. It makes sense. You're just acting like dickholes.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh man, did we eat some?
I was gonna say, is there weed hidden in the vents?
I feel high
or
as
something?
fuck.
Because ever since the heater turned on.
Fantastic. Moving.
Anyways,
the fuck on.
No, wait, hang on. I wanted to.
All right, go ahead.
He didn't answer it. We interrupted him again, even though we promised we would.
In 30 minutes.
All right.
Oh shit.
So in that situation, say I was, if the game between FC Dallas and Chicago or whatever, if it goes one way, it benefits Cincinnati, and if it goes the other way, it benefits Columbus, who would I cheer for then? I don't fucking know.
It doesn't matter. Whoever at that point, you're like, well, somebody's getting in, and I mean that's fine.
You do benefit.
What
I have a
about
playoff game to
what,
get to.
what
no matter
about
what,
does
right?
the home field cheering still ring true if it's a MLS Cup
If it's a home and away
or an Open Cup? If it's a Cup final, what are you doing? Like, are you still are you still saying who's hosting is who I'm cheering for? Or I feel like the odds are a bit different there than if it's a regular season game.
So now the cup fight or the playoffs are all one game playoffs. There's no home and away.
That'll never change.
It's also not what I asked
for now. And so is the MLS Cup.
Right.
So the Cincinnati will never play Columbus in MLS Cup final.
Oh,
but
that's
Eastern
They
Conference
could play
Finals
in the Eastern Conference Final or any
That's
of
true.
the
That's true.
other
which is still a one-off.
four
They
games
could
in
they
it.
play in the Open Cup? I don't remember how that brackets out.
Yes.
Yes,
I think they could.
If both teams.
Okay,
keep
fine.
winning,
Ignore
then
MLS
eventually,
Cup.
yes.
Open Cup.
Yeah, it's not like two Eastern Conference teams have ever played in the Cup final before.
Yeah, or a freak season in the future where our last game is against each other and it's for the Supporter Shield. Like that's the same instance. So what are you going to do on that day?
I still see myself cheering for whichever jersey I'm wearing.
All right.
Okay.
That's a personal choice, and I supremely support anyone who has to make it. There are no wrong answers.
Fascinating in sports.
I do too.
Yeah,
like it's an entire cultural institution built off of cheering your emotions, and that you're able to just completely
Yeah, I think none of us are judging you or questioning.
No.
It's really just a fascination because
it is.
I've never had that split loyalty feel, and
I can't imagine most people have, right? I mean, it's a very unique meanness thing.
Yep.
Someone in Chicago, might not, or someone in Milwaukee may have that if Milwaukee gets a pro team at some point. But
Evan,
I'm sure there are a lot of hockey fans in Columbus that were hockey fans. I remember the first year that that the Jackets started. I went to a Blue Jackets Red Wings game at Nationwide Arena, and
all red, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, especially back in the 90s, it was you could not get tickets in Detroit. Anyway, so the Jackets scored first, and the building went crazy, and then the Red Wings scored to tie it up, and the fucking roof blew off. It was like being on a different planet. And you knew not all of those people were skunk weasel bitches from Michigan. A lot of them were hockey fans from Columbus that were Red Wings fans because they were the closest team.
Is that your word for Wolverine?
Yeah, it's a skunk weasel. Yeah, it is. Look it up.
I see.
Let's move on. Why ACES Radio? Why sully your IRL?
Maybe that could be our esports team, the Columbus Skunk Weasels.
Skunk Weasels? No, dude. If I'm
just
starting a
thinking
team
of,
in Columbus,
crazy names.
is the Flytown Bulldozers. And that's just it.
The Flytown Bulldozers.
The Flytown Bulldozers.
What's Flytown a reference to?
Flytown was a neighborhood down around downtown-ish, say, and it was bulldozed, and I think that's funny. Yeah.
Morgan
Fair
thinks
enough.
that the destruction of a community is funny.
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't say that out loud. I wouldn't say that when it was being recorded.
Morgan would like them to be the Columbus
I'm just saying.
gentrifiers.
Morgan would like to
It was
name
like that.
his new sports team.
Yeah. I'm pretty
That's
sure
not in the neighborhood that it's named after.
And I'm pretty sure it was like a racially charged destruction of a community too, and I'm pretty sure it was when 670 went in. So
Only the best people.
it's a funny joke.
Was it attached to Bronzeville?
Maybe.
King Lincoln?
Yeah, maybe. Look it up on the internet and use it as your esports team.
Look up-
Hashtag
We have a
Mobile
fax
B.
machine for such things.
Hashtag Mobile B. Mike, why ACES Radio?
Why?
You lobbied to be here.
So for
For how long?
I don't know. He only asked
I
once, and I
asked-
said, yeah, that's fine.
So for the longest time, ever since I listened to the Shrek episode, I know you guys are best friends, but you ragged on him nonstop during that, and it put the fear of God into me of ever being asked to be on this podcast. And I could tell that you guys actually liked each other. You weren't just being mean to each other. And I don't have keys to throw around on a table.
Thank Christ. Drops onto it.
But over the course of the winter, I decided, thank you.
Sweet monkey balls, Darby. How many shoppers clubs
grab
do you
the
belong to?
All of them.
Good fuck.
Put those in your phone, Darby.
I'm saving 47 cents wherever I go.
I had an early app that did that, and then I gave up.
2019. Load up your Mobile B.
I don't even use most. It's Kroger, Giant Eagle, Ace, and ARP, and that's it for me.
ARP?
AARP. It's funny. It's funny. Golden Buckeye.
So over the course of the winter, I realized that I had something unique to say about sports and soccer, and
when are we gonna get to that part?
I had a grand narrative. I have notes here of all the things
The man
I wanted to
has
bring
a
up.
family. He has a wife, as it turns out.
Supposedly there aren't any pictures of her. I don't know.
Savage.
She's Canadian.
Her name's a legend.
And so I figured that Morgan probably deeply wanted me to be on the podcast for decades now.
Oh,
One of
yeah.
the only things Morgan's done deeply.
Deep in his Mobile B, he was feeling it.
Yeah.
So I DM'd him, if you know what I mean.
Oh, you slid all up in that Mobile B.
All the way up. And
No.
and I said,
Feel that throbbing? That's Mike Hudson.
He's like, I got some Spitfire
That's
in
the
here.
suckage.
Oh.
That's the podcast ear suckage.
Don't you do it.
Dr. Pete's never coming on here.
Yeah, poops.
Yeah, poops. What do your notes say? What have we not
What are
gotten to?
those pre-written roasts?
No, I don't have any roasts
Oh,
here, but I
okay.
have 5 things I wanted to bring up.
All right.
For one, the proper pronunciation of Nordeca.
Doesn't matter.
If you if you
Nordec.
care about how to properly pronounce it,
Nobody
it's
cares.
Nordeca. If you don't care, do whatever. Pronounce it fish. I don't care.
Why-
But it's
where did
Call it the
Nordeca
Bailey
is-
or whatever you want.
Where did Nordec E come from, by the way?
Probably the
How
same
is
guy
that?
who
It's a
calls it
German word.
Wikipedia.
No.
Yeah.
Someone says Nordecki, and I can't
Somebody
remember who
says
it is.
Nordecki, and it's fucking
Yeah,
weird.
it's
and
like
not okay.
A-Race or something
So
like
so
that.
if that was Pete, if that was Dr. Pete,
Nordecki?
Yes. Someone says Nordecki.
Somebody says that.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. Anyway.
No,
You guys
Dr.
say-
Pete did say in his interview with Extra Time Radio, Krumas, without S on the
Nice.
end. He's like, it was Krumas
Wow.
Eve. We're like, this guy's ours.
As
All right.
as somebody who's heard you fuck up any number of things, including tonight.
Oh, sure.
I am going to cut Dr. Pete a little slack.
Yeah.
So the next thing I have here is Save the Crew wrote the blueprint. We've discussed that several times. It's not unique anymore, but when I wrote it down,
Oh, thanks, Mike.
you know, I may have been like the 34th person to
Oh, okay.
actually write that down.
What blueprint?
The blueprint for saving your goddamn team.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Darby did do that.
Yeah, we should,
What?
like,
What would be a good
if
idea?
another team ever needs to be saved, they should look at what
Sell
we
it to
did.
them?
Oh, my God. We're going to get you are going to get so many fucking emails the next time a team is threatened. Holy shit.
Yeah. Team at savethecrew.com.
Yeah, that's the one.
Cheer for the home team. We did talk about that.
All right.
You keep on mentioning. I'm pointing at Morgan right now.
Okay.
He is.
I have to
Yes,
say
poop.
such a thing.
Actually, he might be
that-
pointing at Gangster Crew, baby. It's hard to tell from
All
this
right.
angle.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
poop.
mean, I don't need to tell Gangster Crew Baby this because he's smarter than Morgan and he doesn't need to be told.
Valid.
But blog is a portmanteau of web and log.
I'm going to kill you.
I
You
love
don't need
that
to
somebody
be.
else is using portmanteau other than me.
You don't need to
Thank you.
be.
It's one of the old words.
I don't care what either
They
one of
serve
you
that
do
in
with
New
your
Orleans.
toes.
What is it called?
Portmanteau.
Yeah, poor man's toe. It's like a it's like a soup, isn't it?
It's like a soup sandwich.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, I give you a lot of credit for being, like, good at things.
Attractive,
Thank you,
funny,
Babs.
Yeah.
talented.
Appreciate you, too.
I take it all back.
He's looking at me while he's doing it.
I'm like, God damn it, the Zadars are, like, artistic, and they're good at cooking and shit, and then you say...
I really have
mean
had
things.
enough with them.
Yeah.
They're too good at
They
stuff.
can fucking go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
In
an
fact, I
artist.
like-
Oh, my brother's a chef.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Also,
sister
I
plays
like
in
Drew better
WNBA.
than you.
Oh.
You can go away. Drew is welcome to come on the podcast.
If
anytime
all
he
the
wants.
others,
My
Zadars
5'4" sister will be thrilled to learn she plays in the WNBA.
That's tall.
5'4".
All right, Mike, what's the last
I
thing?
have no
What's your
idea
last
how tall
note?
she
The
is.
last thing, Crew Twitter is better than FCC Twitter.
Oh, what?
Obviously.
It totally is. And part of that
Or
is
talking.
the bonding process that we've all been through over the last, 16, 18 months.
Something like that.
And part of that is that it's more established. There are 3 podcasts for FC Cincinnati, and only one of them puts out memes and shit like that. And so there's like 2 different people in FC Cincinnati that put out, memes and fun stuff like that. But in Columbus, like,
There's just
everybody's
us.
doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
There's only one
Because
podcast.
nobody's talking about soccer.
Who's
We're
putting
all
out
just
memes?
Dicking around.
Those
and
aren't
making
memes from Master Report. Those are just errors. They're not trying to be funny.
No, I agree. The shitballing and the ball busting in Crew Twitter is delightful, and it is part of part of what makes us unique, I think. Yeah, I agree with that. And I've been listening to the streets a lot recently.
I just assumed
Oh,
all
my
the.
God. Now I
I
know he's
assumed
lying.
all like the fan communities are like that.
I don't think so, dude.
I don't think they're all as, like, self-deprecating and self-loathing as we are.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of them still...
Which is important.
If they're having fights in amongst their groups, they're, like, all being rough laddie and, like...
Yeah, they're
serious
fucking
and
Nazis
shit.
in NYCFC,
Whereas we're like,
dude.
oh, yeah, we're just self-loathing pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And argue with each other because we have nothing better to do.
That's true. The Crew SC food wars
Oh, my God, that's the best.
are real. God, you say
Like,
one thing about it. I try to stay out of that shit
Yeah.
real hard. And then I said something about
That's
peanut
like-
butter once, and everyone's like, Skyline chili.
No, it's like, fuck soccer. Let's talk about food. and
That
all
was
the
like
things
my
we
war before Save the Crew started.
And we can be back to that now.
Yeah, well,
All
Yeah.
right. Mike,
Brussels sprouts. What do you think, John?
I love Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
So if
Not
by the
gonna
way,
allow
They're
if
too
you
spicy for
want
Morgan.
FC Cincinnati memes, follow 3Def, THREEDEF. He's the best.
3 deaf?
3 deaf, he's the
Why
best.
would I follow anything?
Was
in
1 and
Cincinnati?
2 deaf taken?
Clearly.
Jump on my mobile B3 deaf. Get on my level. So let's go to the Greg Benson question. Of course, you know what this is. You've had time to think about it. We expect much from your answer. What does the crew mean to you?
God damn it, I knew this was coming, and I didn't come up with anything.
God fucking damn it, Mike.
He's as good at show prep as
So
you.
if you'd asked me that last year,
Yeah.
Crew was always my team that's in the MLS, or in MLS,
There
not
it is.
an
Thank you.
MLS, not the MLS, that's in MLS, and has the history, has the cup win, has the Open Cup win, has all that history that I wasn't following for, and hasn't won a trophy since I started following.
Great.
Maybe pick Cincinnati.
You're doing a terrible sell job here.
And Columbus Crew is my connection to history because I can live vicariously through. Oh, by the way, I forgot. I totally should have given a man ball to J.D. Smith because that podcast was fucking amazing.
Wasn't
and
phenomenal.
Good job, John, for your contribution to it. I liked all the artwork that you made.
Appreciate it.
Average.
So that podcast was amazing because it allowed me to connect to history. I did not know who the hell Guillermo was until that. I mean, I could have looked it up, but I wouldn't have known how to spell any of it. That was a real neat thing. So Columbus Crew is my connection to history. We're building new history with FC Cincinnati, and we're building new history with Columbus Crew. But only one of those has 20 years of history at this point.
Yeah. More the merrier in soccer in Ohio. Last hot take. Are you sticking around for segment 3?
It's not like you have anywhere
It depends
to be.
on what time it is right now.
It is
I've got
8:30 p.m.
8:30. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We will not get you the hell out of here, but we will ask this of you, and we'll go to break. How can user AGS attack be stopped?
Yeah. I just got to go with one of the old standbys, straight up murder. Maybe we can hang him. Maybe we can shoot him. Maybe we can do something with his mobile B. I don't know.
Do you want to do something to it before or after he's dead? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
is the mobile be the cause of death or just a happy byproduct?
Why not both?
As long as we're here.
So when I was here, might as well do something with the mobile B.
Relax, Robert Kraft. If you've enjoyed the shitlord...
Why would you have?
God, he almost choked in his hot mayonnaise sandwich.
If you've enjoyed the shitlordery on segment 2, you have bad taste in podcast. We're coming back on segment 3 with your hot takes and more, my friends, my mapaches. You're listening to the trash pit known as ACES Radio. Now sit there, let Mike Hudson put his podcast shit all over your ears. Jesus Christ, I apologize for everything.
Hot, sicker than your average. Down like goose and I'm fly like Maverick. With a savage attack in a mouth like a mash spitting fuego. Homie, it ain't tricking if it's magic illusions. Indubitably juvenile. My crew can do it and we do it well. Rock around the clock all across the nation. Got a lot of sky miles and a reputation of making earthquakes every time we land. Cause stopping in an option or a part of the plan. Fools get to fuming while I'm running on jet fuel. Now pay close attention cause I'm ready to let you know what I'm all about, child. I got that style that you come to love. And I'ma stay fly till the day I die. Spitting fresh to death from above. Get it, David F, man. You don't stop. David, you don't stop. We came to rock it till the city takes off. Mr. Captain, yeah. I'm an ace pilot, yeah. I wanna spin my wings and fly. To all the people in coach, yeah. And to my first class folks, yeah. We'll show you how to scrape the sky.
Yeah, baby. Ignorant slut, shitlord, celebrity fans, all you fools watching on Periscope, welcome back. It is segment 3, episode 111 of the Failing Aces Radio. My name is Carol Seaver, alongside of Drolby Scrinface and Sean Sitar, and the failing ear shit pile known as Mike Hudson Sucks. He certainly does. Welcome back to the Trash Pocket, brought to you as always by Blood and Urine. We are here on segment 3. And sweet monkey balls, there are a lot of hot takes tonight, Drabs. I can't believe we've done this. You don't have your headphones on. You don't know what I'm saying.
No, I'm
very unfortunate.
I'm scrolling through. There's a lot of hot takes this week.
A lot of hot takes.
Glad that you all fucking joined us because apparently nobody realized we were recording last week.
Last week there were like 7 hot takes, and it was blissful, and it was great, and everyone loved it, and people were like, "Hey, Morgan, you smell great, and you're great with kids." And thank you very much, Sean, for saying that, and it made me feel great. Mike, what if I told you there was a cure for the scourge, that is smelling great and being great with kids?
I'd wonder what that cure was.
That's right, Mike. They say the only cure for the scourge are hot takes.
Nothing is impossible. Make your dreams come true.
And now, an Aces Radio exclusive. The battle for the grand prize. Hot takes from the massive.
You're not going to stop there. We got the grand prize.
Hot takes from Twitter.
He's heating up.
Hot takes
He's on fire.
from you.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't, Walter. Walter, you're dead. You're a puppet, son of a bitch.
I really want John Zidar dead.
Moving on. Before we go to the subreddit, it was a massive lads. I wonder if I could go ahead and read the overall standings according to Alex Thomas. It's the only reason people tune in. In first place, tied for first, 3 people: Club Porter, Gary the Winged Lion, and Columbus Crew Eagle, all with 2 points apiece.
Can we call him K-Leb Porter? Because I think that's the intent. It's like calling it the Nordeck.
Club Porter.
No,
that's
fuck
right,
him.
Dubs. Club Porter.
K-Leb.
Bringing up the rear this week, Greg, and getting the bulk, tied for last place, Tim Bezbachenko, and setting the table, both in last place with 1 point each. We move now to the subreddit known as Massive Lads, where I remind you these hot takes are organized automatically by their level of fiery fucking hotness. I'm pretty sure I just said cock takes. For topmost of the popmost, this lad comes to us from Arby's official with 7 points. Quote, "Dear Mrs. Hughes, I am writing to inform you that your organization, Casters for the Garber, DBA ACES Radio, is in violation of our agreed-upon 2019 sponsorship deal. Your repeated promotions on your last episode, dated February 27, 2019, advertising for Firehouse Subs' new product, Warm Mayonnaise Sandwich, is promotional material for a direct competitor of Arby's. We appreciate that you take this issue seriously and will adhere to the terms of our agreement. Any further violations will result in immediate termination of our agreement and possible proceedings to recoup our investment. I encourage you to reach out to me directly at 678-514-4100 with any questions or concerns. Sincerely, Marcus Phillips, Senior Director of Operations at Arby's Restaurant," end quote. Drolby Screenface, your thoughts?
I feel like the warm mayonnaise sandwich. Wasn't it? I think it was a hot mayonnaise sandwich.
It was a hot mayonnaise sandwich.
I think that's definitely a Jimmy John's product. Yeah.
With sriracha
more so.
sponsor.
I feel like we should probably call that number and talk to Philip about it.
Should we do it?
One of these days we'll record it like 11 a.m. so he'll actually pick up.
You want to do it real quick? I mean, there are a lot of hot takes. We could do it. What program do we use?
There are
Skype?
only 9.
No one does any of that but you, so you should know.
John has a question.
Yes, you're looking for a Marcus Phillips.
Did
here.
you log on?
You've been signed out of Skype. I did launch the app. That's
You
literally
got
what I just
mail.
did. Enter password. Fuck.
Aces Radio is the
Sandwich.
worst.
Let's see. Sign in. Is that it? That was it. Holy shit. Okay, let's see.
Not a good sign when he's shocked
No,
he
it says-
remembered the password.
Welcome, Oregon.
Tell me the number again.
678 514.
It's so musical.
Why don't you use the fucking keypad? Why are you
He doesn't have a numpad.
4100? He's got a number bar across the top of the keyboard.
And who should we ask for?
Marcus Phillips.
Just ask
Thank you for
Bruce.
calling the Inspire Brands Global Support Center. Our office is currently closed. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5
Marcus
p.m.
who?
Eastern
This
Standard
isn't
Time.
Arby's.
If you would like
It
to
is.
speak to a guest support
We
team
should
member
totally ask for
to tell us
Philip
about a
Marcus.
recent
Company.
brand experience, please dial 4155
I'd
now,
like to
and your call will be routed to the next
recount a
available
recent
team member.
brand experience
If
with
you know your
hot
party's
mayonnaise sandwich.
4-digit extension and would like to leave a message, please dial it now. To reach our dial by name option, press 1 now. To leave a message in our... Please enter the first few letters of the person's name. For the letter Q, press 7.
First or last?
No, I did first.
Margaret.
After hearing the person's name you want, press 1.
Mindy Armstrong.
Not good.
I like her, though. She sounds nice.
Maria Hurwitz.
Ooh, I don't like that one.
Wait, why'd it go to Mindy
Yeah,
before
I don't like
Maria?
that.
That's what I
Mark
was wondering.
Maynard.
Mindy Armstrong,
What'd they say?
M-A-R.
Mark
yeah.
something.
It wasn't it.
Solitario Margaret.
The proletariat Margaret?
That was definitely a human being and not a robot.
She must be new.
Maybe you should have
Josh Martin.
Yeah, we're going to go with that guy.
Josh Martin.
Thanks. Please hold.
The guy's name is Marcus Comfort.
Like Josh Martin.
It was Marcus Phillips.
Yeah, Josh Martin.
That's right.
Ask for Marty.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if he picked up if he was working late?
I'm sorry. Extension number 4282 didn't answer. You've reached the voicemail of
Josh Martin.
Please leave a message.
Close enough.
Hey, Josh, it's all of us over here at ACES Radio. Listen, we were trying to get in touch with Marcus Phillips, and it didn't work out, so we pressed 1 when someone said, your name, because you're also a man. So, listen, we talked a lot about, as you probably know, hot mayonnaise sandwiches last week on the show, and I know that was offensive to the money that you've spent to sponsor the show, and we did want to apologize. We saw your message on the, again, this is for Marcus, not you, Josh. So, Josh, if you could just go ahead and not listen and just forward this. Remember episode 14? It's for his ears only. Listen, so the hot mayonnaise, listen, I feel like we got it all over our hands and our face and everywhere else last week, and we do want to apologize. So give us an opportunity to make it up to you, and I appreciate this. And again, Josh, I swear to God, if you're listening to this, this is not for you. This is for Marcus only. You send this to Marcus Phillips. Again, it's everyone at ACES Radio. Enjoy your night, my friend. And if you're hearing this and you're enjoying your night because of it, you've already failed the fucking test, all right? Give it to Marcus. Goodbye.
Right. I think we really did a great job there.
No, I really think.
I would be thrilled to have a voicemail like that.
I feel like a segment 4 is coming on here where we just start calling random people.
I like to think that every time we do that, we get a whole new batch of listeners. That guy listens. That guy to figure out what's going on. He listens and then he recommends it to all his office mates and
go listen to this fucking shit.
Where is that? Where is that office located? We should watch. Can you check the download map next week, Morgan?
I will.
I believe the area code might even be down in Atlanta.
Moving on. From music, your Gavin is showing with 5 points, quote, hey, Pedro, I like that you are trying to get involved with our traditions, but there is no reason to take can't help falling in love with Cruz. So literally towards the end of the game, end quote. Mike Hudson Sucks. Your thoughts?
I fucking hate you.
What? Oh, Pedro or your Gavin is showing?
No, the Gavin, motherfucker.
Why?
How can you hate Eddie Gavin, you son of a bitch?
No, I have nothing against Eddie Gavin. I just hate the motherfucker that wrote this.
Oh, your Gavin is showing as one of the top lads in the game.
Why are you so mad?
Maybe.
Tony Hogan Lab Party.
Explained it.
Super bad joke.
Moving the fuck on from user Ohio Quarter Horse Association with 5 points, quote, Dear Darby, we've received reports from local horse farms of an elderly gentleman loitering on premises with a power drill, creating very small holes in the sides of the stables. Given our past experience with you, we know what you are up to. As a courtesy, we would recommend you not use those holes as glory holes for the horses. Horses in central Ohio enjoy baby carrots, and they're likely to bite something of the size if they see it. Also, I know we told you last week the horses don't have cell phones. That wasn't an invitation to buy them all Motorola Razr devices. What decade is it? Thanks, signed the Ohio Quarter Horse Association, end quote.
In some sort of weird act of protest, he's taken his headphones off as if that would stop him from having to hear you read it.
How's that
Darby, the only
different
thing
from
that you've done now is make it so that none of us can hear you, so we can only assume that you agree with everything that just happened.
Fantastic. Moving on from user Morgan's Fun Van for your kids with 6 points, quote, beep, beep, end quote.
Oh, man, mobile beeps.
Moving on from user Morgan's Anal Leakage with 4 points, quote, drip. Moving on from user Bonesy10 with 3 points, quote, the in-stadium pooping atmosphere was just as good as the game day atmosphere. Hashtag winning the stalls, end quote.
Mr. Poopy Pants?
Sean Satar, your thoughts?
What does that even mean?
They cleaned up the bathrooms.
Poops.
Did you go into any of the restrooms?
No, I don't usually.
To quote Mike Hudson Sucks,
why
yes,
should
poop?
I?
Yeah. I mean, don't you ever have to pee when you go?
Occasionally, not every game.
It was nothing like
Pee before I go in, I
drink more.
pee when I come out.
Okay.
You don't drink beer the entire game?
No, I don't drink. I don't purchase anything in there either.
Okay.
You can now. It's safe again.
Yeah, I'm not paying $9 for a Bud Light.
It's also not filled with poop anymore.
The fuck on from user Massive14 with 4 points. Quote, it's only taken me 4 seasons, but I think I've finally figured out the best method to getting blood points on segment 3 of ACES Radio. You have to submit something each and every week. No matter how lazy or uncoordinated or downright awful it might seem, you just have to keep throwing it back out there week after week, expecting different results. People won't understand it. They'll say it's time for something different, but you have to go against all logic and just keep trying the same thing over and over and over, no matter how much it sucks. I've decided to call it the Pedro Sanch, end quote. Sean Satar, your thoughts?
I'm enjoying the amount of Pedro roastings that are happening in this segment.
That's half
Long
of a Hotake.
Darby Schneider's.
Yeah, no, I'm very much here for the Pedro roasting.
The songs that AGS Attack has written about the man are better than the man.
There are 3 times as many songs as there are goals scored all time.
Oh my God, you're not wrong.
Yeah, no.
Holy shit.
If you count
Outrageous.
preseason goals, they're equal.
And you don't. Moving on from user setting the table with 3 points. Quote, I'm cross-posting this from the subreddit known as Tiny Dog Tales from user Gary Pendleton Hughes. Daddy take me to stadium with him last week while he makes stands look nice. He busy, so me run around. Me had to go number 2 really bad, so me squat on really nice grass in corner next to Daddy. Blurp. Me watch replay of game with Daddy later and see player Daddy call Sanch, slip on poop and fall to ground in stoppage time. Ball go out of bounds. Remind me of Daddy stepping in it that one night. He, end quote. Mike Hudson Sucks, your thoughts?
My favorite part of that was your rendition of the word blurp.
Blurp.
Yeah. I mean, let's not give Pedro any excuses. Let's not blame dog poop on the pitch. He's just bad.
Yeah,
You watch it enough times, it really looks like he dove.
I did take Gary to the...
he
he fell down intentionally because he hit the ball
John
with his
said,
plant foot.
Yes,
which knocks it out of bounds, and then he realizes what he's done, and there's no ball left to kick, so he just falls down.
He goes boneless because he realizes how badly he fucked up.
He didn't trip; he fell down because he was embarrassed, like he did with the shot 5 minutes earlier.
Anytime you can dribble with your plant foot, you got to go ahead and do that. Obviously, Jesus.
Fantastic. I did take Gary to the Sunrise Champagne thing with Dr. Pete, and he just took a fat crap in the middle of the parking lot.
Really?
I had to find a goddamn... moving on. From user Aces Archives. What?
We did hear that you showed up for the Sunrise tailgate. I heard you look like shit.
Oh, well,
you look like hammered shit. Like you just rolled out of bed 5 minutes beforehand, showed up.
I woke up at 6:43 a.m. and I thought, son of a fucking bitch, I can make it to that thing. And so I went, and Pam's like, I'm coming. I'm like, I've never cared about that. Moving on. From user Aces Archive with 3 points, quote, all the talk last week about leaked jerseys got me to thinking I should release a leaked Google search history I stumbled across from Morgan Hughes, found via handsyboytifo@gmail.shopify.com. Can I claim a child on my taxes if I've disowned him? Extermination services that handle inanimate raccoons. How do you pronounce Wikipedia? Crew Cat fan fiction and short stories. Is Walt Quisney real? How to play basketball like Larry Bird. Long-term effects of continuing to use vagina wash. Are casters really just wheels? Guillermo worship centers near me. Picture of Brock Lesnar in a new Crew jersey while in an Acura that is also insured by Mafre. How to find a girl under 30 that also makes great pizza. Places in Columbus to hide banners I don't own. Stats showing boys versus girls named in Morgan. How to understand people who speak Australian after coming back from a trip there. Aces Radio episode 30 segment 3 recording. How to delete my account. Hashtag throwback Thursday. And quote, Drolby Scrinface, your thoughts.
I mean, yeah, the banners jokes, I'm sorry, they're never not going to be funny.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Especially when they found the Kirk Urso banner that one time.
Oh, that was such good timing. That they found it the day that they wanted to display it on that day.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Moving on from user Crew Yelp reviews with 4 points, quote, I'll admit I was skeptical of returning to Mafre. Last time I was there, it smelled of burnt queso and long-distance relationships where one side was already checking out different options. But when I saw the sign that the Crew was under new management, I figured I'd give it a shot. I attended the shooting for Club Rescue back in 2017 when then investor-operator of the team called in Dave Greeley to try to fix things. Instantly, I was worried that the main investor of the Crew had hired the one person more incompetent than him to fix up the club. Greeley was no Gordon Ramsay. As a result, after working together for a year, the bathrooms remained filthy, the food was unsafe with rat droppings visible, the porta-johns untreated, insert dramatic screech music. Lights burned out, everywhere you looked, you just had to question if there was any passion for the guys in charge of running this club. When approached, the man in charge started to break down and say how unfair it was that customers weren't willing to give him money despite his lack of efforts. I will say I was pleasantly surprised upon my return this Saturday. The bathrooms were cleaned, which was a treat. I ordered a seat near the midfield line and was surprised that the new management was actually there in attendance. The product that was served on the field wasn't perfect, but I'll give the new chef some time to adjust his recipe to his liking. The other consumers seemed to be having a good time. The HVAC system might need to be fixed, as it was a bit chilly. That said, the atmosphere was much more positive than my recent visit. I'm excited to see what happens moving forward. I give it 96 out of 100 stars. Sean Sitar, your thoughts?
Great.
That's a really, 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 really long hot take.
I like the concept with the Yelp review thing.
Yeah.
And real talk, though, wasn't it gratifying to have a number of porta potties in the parking lot and
greater than 2
fireworks and just indications that somebody gave
mustard,
a shit
ketchup,
about us, right? Condiments,
yes,
heated food products,
lights,
not being out of everything. Somebody said they actually saw paper towels being replaced in the bathroom real time.
I'll say this: a former.
That's what I go to sporting events for.
Yeah, but it's the base level, right? A former employee of the crew, who I will not name, texted me the next day and screenshotted Andrew King's article that said yeah. And it was some of the fans noticed these great things. And it was paper towels, lights, doors on the stalls.
Right.
And he was like, this is a professional fucking team. Are you kidding me?
And it's sad because those should be the baseline
That's
norm.
a baseline, yeah.
But I was so fucking gratified when it's there's 10 porta potties instead of 2.
Yes.
For 5,000 people worth of tailgating.
Yeah.
Darby, they don't control that.
Yeah,
the fairgrounds control that.
Yes, obviously they had no
man.
say in the matter whatsoever.
Yeah, you can.
Hey guys, I got a couple other things to sell you, but let me button my shirt first.
Yeah, you can push your fucking head down further into the sand all you want, but God damn it, there was one ownership group that was in charge when doors were falling off of the bathrooms, lights were going out, and there were no paper towels, and it was Anthony J. Precourt.
We had 18,000 people going in. There were 3 people in line in front of me when I went to the
I love
stadium.
that new security.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Through the whatever they're called.
So
and then
easy.
scanning
Metal
the tickets
detector.
on the other side. That was really nice.
Incredibly smart.
Yep.
Because these people are good at their job, and you are not, Anthony Precourt. Get fucked. Moving on. From user Tim Bezbachenko with 3 points. Quote, hey guys, thanks for coming over to our home opener this past weekend. It was an electric atmosphere, and your leadership in the corner hasn't gone unnoticed. Morgan, the banners look great. I know you put a lot of hard work into the success of this club, and I appreciate you. See you guys on March 16th. Go Crew, and quote, Drolby Scrinface. What a great hot take that is.
The long con on this account, I'm really excited to see where they go with this.
Big shout out to Tim.
There are people on Reddit who are already thinking, wait, is this actually him?
Yes.
Because we're a couple of, I think there are 3 posts in from this account, and there's not been even an indication of snark. So
I encourage all of you
Ain't nobody got
to
time
do
for
the
that.
same. Moving on from user Columbus Crew Eagle with 3 points, although it should be negative 7 billion points. It is Columbus Crew Eagle. So thankful for blood points last week. As bird of prey, I eat lots of small animals and
You're
blood.
doing the voice wrong, Morgan. Do you want to start over again?
Merrigan. I need Pam gone. We must be family with Eagle Son on way. Tell her to leave and grow up on own. Columbus Crew Eagle wear no shoes to pick up. Players. Please let us be family. Players send Pam away. Can't wait to win grand prize and make family on season 4 finale. Players. Morgan. End quote. Mike Hudson Sucks, your thoughts?
Well, it was great once the actual Eagle got here and, kicked Morgan out of his seat and did the rest of the hot take. That was my favorite part.
I mean, I feel like this should have spoken to you more. It was saying Pam needs to go away and grow up, and there would be no shoes if Pam were gone.
I can do that without living with a fucking eagle who got me pregnant.
I mean, we all have to make sacrifices.
You can, but why would you want to?
No. Moving on. User Crew Parody with 3 points. Quote, Crew Cat loves me, yes I know, for the program tells me so. Gary the Lion will get so owned, for he is weak, but Crew Cat is strong. Yes, Crew Cat loves me, clap, clap. Yes, Crew Cat loves me, clap, clap. Yes, Crew Cat loves me, clap, clap. The program tells me so. End quote. Sean Satara, your thoughts.
Can we talk about how we have 2 mascots now?
Yeah.
So, like, that theory that I had of the 2 face-offs during the mascot soccer, we're going to have 2 mascots that know how to play.
Oh, my God.
Versus their 1, and then they're going to have, like, Wendy's Frosty.
And Dwight Burgess will eat
Like,
sexually on there.
Do they serve as team captains during mascot soccer and pick sides? Like, how's this gonna
I would assume so.
I want a mascot soccer super draft.
I would assume that it's Team SC versus Team Crew Cat.
Yeah, I want to see them pick their sides, and
I want to see them both just beat the shit out of Bailey or Gary or whatever the Cincinnati cat is called.
Oh, okay.
I also want to see
the Lion King from the Island of Misfit Toys. When somebody
it
pointed
does
that
look
out,
like that, doesn't it?
Yes, it has a crown and it has wings. It is exactly that creature. And somebody pointed it out on Twitter, and it blew my fucking mind.
I never thought about that.
I missed that.
Yeah.
You're wearing a tiger on your head, alternatively.
Goddamn right.
Moving on. From user Morgan's Glasses with 3 points. Quote, sorry, I can't make Morgan's face look nicer. Moving on. From user Robert Shaft.
Wait, where are the glasses today?
They hurt my sides of my head when I'm wearing headphones.
You need to get those adjusted.
I know it. From user Robert Shaft with 2 points. Quote, hello, Crew fans. I would just like to say how great it is that the Crew is staying in Columbus. It would have really deflated my balls had you moved out of our great city. While another year of Crew versus Revs isn't the most exciting thing that's happened to me lately, it certainly is up there. Speaking of things being up, please let me know if any of your fans visiting the Patriots Stadium for the game would like recommendations of places to visit. I have a few suggestions that are off the beaten path that are guaranteed to be a good time for a price that will blow your mind. Last thing I would want would be you guys ending up in a sticky situation you didn't want to be in. These places might not show up if you use Google on your smartphone, but I have an absolute unit of a map I'll let you touch and use. You might be surprised that something so old can be effective, but I can assure you that in the right circumstances, it can certainly get the job done and bring pleasure on the faces of those that use it. After all, there's no reason for any of us to leave without a happy ending on Saturday. Darby, I also know of an equestrian farm near the stadium that offers rides at an hourly rate. We can discuss it over our 3:30 p.m. scheduled dinner at IHOP tomorrow. I'll bring the chessboard. May all your DP wishes come true, sang Robert Kraft. Sean Sitar, your thoughts?
Not a single mention of a mobile bee, Morgan. I think you're alone on this.
Well, he's not an E-man. I'm more of the E-man, and I use a mobile bee because I got to get my
What would he be,
on.
then?
Oh, does he use a rotary bee?
He probably plugs in at home drives.
Yeah.
Just overnight charging. But I can't handle that because of all the Pokemans. I'm catching. Listen, I've been catching a lot.
Like, what time of the day do you first have to plug in?
Into my mobile bee. Like, I'm a 9:37 a.m. guy because, like, on my way to work.
You're a 9:37 a.m.?
Yeah.
That's real specific.
Well, okay, so listen, when I'm walking to work, I catch most of my best Pokemans then. Schnarlo.
When you say walking to work.
Pink.
You mean Fox in the Snow?
He's walking Gary around the block.
Yeah, okay.
Jon Snow.
Yep.
Yeah. All of the hot Pokemon. So, yeah, no, I'm a 9:37 a.m. guy. Moving the fuck on. From user Crewcat Son with 0 points. Quote, Crew fans who listen to this train wreck of a podcast, it is I, SC, the son of Crewcat. I'm very upset with all of you. I was the true mascot for the Columbus Crew SC, and then all of a sudden last Thursday my father was resurrected. No one cared for me. No one loved me. I was the identity of a man who loved queso and Zima. I hear all the fans call out for the Crewcat while I was shunned. I was so unpopular that I wasn't allowed to join my local men's masturbation group. So now my father is back here to steal all my thunder. My name isn't the goddamn name of the team. I also don't look like I'm jacked up on crack cocaine. Darby won't even look at me because he's too busy looking at suggestive pictures of horses. The FO can put out cool videos for my father while I'll probably put on the reserves for the halftime mascot game. All I will say to the active participants of ACES Radio is to watch yourself. I am not going anywhere. End quote. Meow, SC, end quote. Mike Hudson Sucks. Your thoughts?
That was a little bit longer than it probably needed to be. Also, I like to refer to SC as Screwcat. That's just my official name for him.
Moving on. From user Ember with 1 point, quote, "It was nice seeing you guys last week. Sorry I missed you, Morgan, and we'll meet up sometime. Give Pam my best. Hugs and kisses. Ember."
What? Who is that?
That's
Ain't nobody
Burkle.
got time for that.
Mike Burkle. Moving on.
Oh.
Second
Why
to last.
doesn't he have his stupid screen name that he has on Twitter?
I don't know.
Okay.
He used to have that on Twitter.
Ember.
Yeah, it was like Ember 7
Now that
or some shit.
yeah, now that you say that, I remember. Yeah. That's not what this is for, Mike.
That's right. That's not a hot take. That's just being nice and being friends. Second to last hot take of the night blissfully comes to us from Jon Snow Dies 5x10 with 1 point. Quote, Derby Schnarfuzz at Token Horsefucker is an angry elf on the tweeters. End quote.
What?
Derby Schnarfuzz, your thoughts?
I am an angry elf on Twitter. Cool.
Hotake, then.
Hotake!
Who did that one?
Let me smash.
Jon Snow Dies 5x10.
Okay.
What does that mean, 5x10?
I have no idea. 50?
50? Jon Snow Dies
That's
50.
Is that like
We
is
got
that
a
like a
math mate
shitty like personalized license plate where you stare at it for 5 minutes and you have no idea what the
That's
fuck
way
it's
too
actually
many
gonna
letters
mean?
for a license plate, Derby.
Yeah, it sure is. Last hot take of the night, the bottom-most of the popmost lads, comes to us from user dbrum83 with -7 points. Quote, "Used to listen to the show but lost interest when they started getting political. I would go back to listening if they focused on soccer and not on politics."
Mr. Poopy Pants.
Can we do the entire thread here, incidentally?
I don't think we've ever talked politics, really.
Not really. Response from user Robert Shaft, with 6 points. Quote, "As a billionaire old white male, I love this hot take. Remind me to email you an invitation to this club I go to often." Response from dbrum83 with -6 points. Quote, "Good one. Have you ever heard of this one? What does fascism and communism have in common? Socialism." End quote. Response from user Robert Shaft with 8 points. Quote, "I used to listen to your comments, but I lost interest when they started getting political. I would go back to listening if they focused on soccer and not politics." Also from Mohawks13 with 1 point, quote, "The only people that complain about stuff getting political are always the people choosing the wrong side of history." End quote.
Boom.
Drolby Screenface, token liberal. Your thoughts?
I would like to remind Keith Noss to shut up and dribble, please. Big Soccer would like you to not be political.
Don't you sell those scarves at cost?
You stay in your lane, Keith. You stop having opinions for 15, 16 months.
Yeah.
You sit there and you talk about soccer and you save a team and you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you shut the fuck up. Keith, you shut up, and everyone hates
I love you,
that.
Keith.
No,
You're
I
a
don't.
better citizen journalist than Massive Report ever was.
We have blood points to give away, lads. Good to hear from you, John. 2 blood points tonight. Drolby Screenface. They go to the following users, my friend.
Oh, hang on. Let me pull up the app here again.
All right.
My blood points go to anybody who didn't talk about horses. So that's going to be no, Morgan's Fun Van for your kids. I like the beep beep because it has a nice, bright, cheerful sound to it that belies the abject darkness that's associated with the account. So, yeah.
All right, your second blood point.
Second point goes to Bonesy 10. Let's. I'm not a stadium pooper myself.
All right,
but we know that certain people on this podcast historically have been stadium poopers.
Like
to
you're
great
choosing
results.
to poop at the stadium?
Oh, I have great control
I'm not
over my bowels.
like pooping out of places. Like I know some
Mr.
people
Poopy
are.
Pants?
Do it.
But Morgan, I'm
Don't
guessing
look at
you're
me.
one of them.
Yes, of course I am.
I would say,
but I'm not
okay.
Gonna be like unless I'm literally going to shit my pants. I'm not going to shit. I'm not going to take a poop at the stadium.
No, I will say I don't think I pooped in the stadium. I have pooped at the stadium one time in the porta potties. Like in say
Wait,
the past
you chose
5
to
years.
poop in the porta potty and not in the
I mean,
side?
it's
the
not always a
stadium?
choice.
Yeah, it sounds like it wasn't.
Sometimes it's like,
That's fair.
you know what?
All right, that's
it's
fair.
here or it's Stank
That's fair.
Lake. And
I've never entered a porta potty that I've been like, yeah, I'll sit down.
I mean,
It ain't fun.
I did the chick hover thing. I think where it's like, you know,
Pooping? So, wait,
Yeah,
that means Darby was hovering.
Oh, no.
And
Yeah.
spreading his ass cheeks because you can't just shit through the closed ass cheeks. I mean, you can, but no amount of toilet paper is going to clean that up.
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
No,
here,
I'm just
John.
speaking from someone who understands physics.
And anatomy.
And anatomy.
John
Sweet.
knows
Thank
all
you,
about
I don't think I'm
anatomy.
coordinated enough to squat and
Did you
like,
get your
spread.
mobile bee out in time, or did you fire that thing into the fucking tub like a cannon?
John teaches
Oh,
a
it's
class
splashed
on,
up.
on butt anatomy.
Splashed up a little bit.
Blissfully moving to the next participant. Mike Hudson Sucks, your 2 blood points.
All right, no, number one, Morgan Table anal leakage. Can't get enough of that shit.
Darby's gonna choke to death. Darby's gonna die right now. This is it. Get your cameras out. Get your cameras.
Not while I'm drinking.
If that's not the intro next week, something's wrong with me. Send help.
Jesus Christ, I just got saved in my nostrils.
And credit to Arby's official, so you have to say it every week, and you get reminded that you have to call that number every week.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Sean Sattar, your 2 blood points.
I don't remember any of them, nor do I want to, but I'll give both my blood points to Robert Shaft for shafting that fucking nerd at the end.
Burns so bad.
I'm gonna give
My
whoever that
sinuses
dude
are on fire.
Dude negative blood points. Can I take a blood point away from that guy?
Who?
Whoever that was at the end. There.
Yeah, we can do
We
that.
only take blood points away from Bob O'Shaughnessy, nobody else.
Okay, fine. Well, then in return, I'm gonna give his grandchildren free healthcare and free education. So.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
he would
coming.
hate to see that.
It's coming whether
So
he
the
wants it or
problem
not.
with giving negative to Debrum is that then he has to say that name every week.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, we will not do that.
My first, I'm going to give both blood points to the people who made fun of Pedro Sanch. So the first one goes to your Gavin who's showing, and the second one would go to Massive 14. So congratulations, lads. You've cracked the code on how to get the battle for the grand prize. And that's another edition of the aforementioned battle for the grand goddamn prize.
And you already know, so let your head nod throughout the outro. Now as the curtains close and it's time to go, will the beast almost out like a manifesto? So let's make a toast to all the friends and fam, the folks involved since we started the jam, and to a world full of people who telling you what you can and can't do. Better recognize salty eyes ain't a
Oh my God, Mike Hudson knows this song.
Very long outro, John.
I didn't say it.
Oh yeah, baby! You can't, Walter.
I really want John Sedar dead.
Fantastic. Moving the fuck on. Last week, Cruisers FC taking on the fighting Metro Stars of the greater New York and New Jersey areas. Let's go ahead and give our. Let's talk about what we said about the predictions. The guest, aka Solana Max, I think it was Jacob Myers. He said not applicable. That was not true.
What did he guess on the speakeasy? Because I assume you guys listened to it.
Did not listen to
I
it.
didn't listen to it.
Neither did I never did.
Great,
so.
great. We're doing wonderful. I'm more of a Kevin Smith man myself. Isn't that right,
Yeah.
Mike Hudson Sucks?
You're a pussy.
Do you listen
Thank
to
you.
those?
No.
Oh.
What, Kevin Smith?
I didn't know if you did.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
He's got like a whole network.
I listen
I
to
listen to
Soccer Speakeasy, though.
Way too much Kevin Smith.
I just
Podcasts is I don't listen to any soccer podcasts.
I listen to Up First, and I listen to The Daily. I listen
Yeah.
to Radio Lab.
Yep.
I listen to a bunch of NPR shit.
Okay.
I got like
We're on the
40.
same
Yeah.
kind of
A lot of
wavelength
free
there.
time.
And ACES Radio, of course.
No,
Well,
you
I
don't.
don't-
okay.
I don't listen to
Fuck
that, but I
outta
know
here.
you do.
Well,
That's like masturbating to a picture of yourself.
well,
Which he also does.
Can confirm.
John will let you hit
Wait,
my
you
mobile
can
bee. You'll have
confirm?
enough juice
Mike
to do it.
Hudson just said he can confirm
That's
that
the
Morgan
second time
beats off
tonight
to a
he's
picture of himself.
confirmed one of us masturbating.
Oh my God. You
That's not
literally
true.
hate to see it.
Jacob Myers. It was a 1-1 tie. You get no points to make out of mercy on your soul. Sean Sattar, the Wennis, the wet boy. You said it was going to be a 2-1 Cruisers FC victory. Nope, that was not even close. It was a 1-1 tie. You get 0 points, God, mercy, and soul. Drolby Scrinface, everyone's favorite ancient ruin. You said as well it would be a 2-1 win. That's not true. It was a 1-1 tie. God, mercy, and soul. Morgan Hughes, the continuing. What a treat this guy is. Oh, you said it was going to be a 1-1 tie. You rough lad. You true mobile B-boy. It was a 1-1 tie.
Can someone keep track this year of how many times you predict ties?
You
which
get-
means that you never can lose points.
You get 15 points to make out of mercy on your soul.
'Cause I feel like it's a
Morgan.
lot.
I
What's
would
that?
like to.
What's that, Drabs?
So, you did a really good job last season with
Thanks,
all
Jeff.
of the predictions.
Appreciate
you.
you.
were the number one prediction boy.
Appreciate you.
Everyone
You
cheer
started
boy.
off the season really strong. I like to give you some credit for that.
I like this.
I'd like to award you a
No.
prize.
Oh my
I would like to award you this mini waffle iron as a way to give you credit.
It's a different one. It's not even the same one.
It's a different color.
It's a
Yes,
different
it is.
color and
Because they
everything.
come in multiple colors. I think you deserve this prize
Seafoam
more
green.
than anybody else. This mini waffle maker is now yours.
Thank you, Darby.
Forever.
I like to think that Darby bought like a pallet of these for like $8, and he's gonna be bringing them every fucking week.
Fuck you. I thought I was like, oh, I'm going to give away that last one to the.
What'd you do with it?
It's still in my trunk. Fuck you, man. I fucking hate you. Moving on to the overall. No, I hate this. This is bad.
Great job.
Don't you do that.
Thank you.
Moving on to the overall standings in last place. With 0 points, absolutely Darby Schnarvis. Tied for last place, the wet boy, Sean Sitar. Also tied for last place.
Yep, poop.
Slaughtermax.
With how many points?
And in first place, I don't even feel like celebrating. My life kind of feels like it's over. Myself with 15 points. God damn it, Darby! You motherfucker! Why did you do this? I'm back to having as many waffle makers as I did before.
You know what? We haven't figured out how to defeat AGS attack, but we figured out how to defeat Mark.
I appreciate finding a way to ruin every week for him when he is the leader.
Yes. Anytime you win, if you get the
You get
prediction
a-
right,
you get a
I feel
waffle
like this
maker.
might be a thing.
Darby has done more to ruin this podcast than I ever could.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Those things
no.
are like fucking $10 at Walmart or
I was gonna say,
Target.
I'm sure
It's
they're
really?
cheap
It's a
somewhere.
worthwhile investment. It really is.
No, they're not. They're not. They're not
Like,
that cheap. No, they're
in fact,
expensive.
anybody who's listening, you should probably go and buy out Target and Bed Bath & Beyond stock right now. And just
Nope,
keep
that's
sending
fine.
them
Don't
to
do
Mark.
that.
Teal one. Moving. Get the maroon one.
The fuck on!
They have like 4 or 5 colors. So.
Cruisers FC taking
won't
on
repeat till week 8.
the Fighting Robert Crafts at Patriot Place this weekend. Before we give you our thoughts and our predictions, let's go to Alex Thomas with a weather report in 3, 2, 1.
And now, an ACES radio exclusive.
We want it now!
The Weather Report with Uncle Sportsman himself,
If I wasn't Jamaican,
Alex Thomas.
then why would I wear this hat?
It's gonna rain!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls alike, welcome back to... Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, is it good? Is it good? My level's good?
that sounds pretty good.
Turn my headphones up. Yeah, let's try that again. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls alike, welcome to another edition of the Weather Report with Uncle Alligator himself, Alex Thomas.
Alert. Alex Thomas has entered the game.
I feel like my levels are off, bro. Turn my headphones up. You got me?
Yep.
Alex Thomas, welcome to the program. Hello.
Thanks for having me, Morgan.
Things are going great for us
yeah.
tonight.
So good to be here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. Cruisers FC going to New England to play the fighting 14-minute Robert Kraftmans.
Yeah, the Quickers.
So tell me again what you were saying. You're saying that he took a jet from New England
Yes.
to...
Yeah, he fueled up his plane.
Okay.
He loaded everybody on it.
All right.
He said, "I got a quick stop.
All right.
Okay, I got to stop in somewhere real fast." So
Yeah.
he left Boston.
Real fast.
Yeah, flew down to Palm Beach or Jupiter, Florida, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second. In fact, wait. Call the tower and get the SUV over here, right? And
Yeah.
load everybody up and
Wake up the pilots.
Get everybody in the truck.
Yeah.
All right, guys, come with me. All
We're
right.
going to travel across the continent.
We're going to land
For a
in
hand
Florida,
job?
right? And then I'm going to jump in my truck, drive me to the Asian Orchid Spa, right? I'll
Orchids
be
of
right
Asia.
back.
Yeah.
14 and a half minutes later, he came out, rejuvenated, refreshed, $70 lighter.
Damn.
Back to the airport, get back on the airplane, and I think they were playing Kansas City that night or somebody. Like it was a playoff game or something. Yeah, dude. And the guy's worth like billions with a B.
With a B and an S on the end of it.
Right, and I got to take a private jet
To get
the
a
middle of
hand
Florida
job
for
in
a
Florida?
raggedy ass handy.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
You know how many free hand jobs are given out in Florida? You just go to an Orlando
Whoa.
City game. You know how many dumpsters are out
Florida
back?
man will do it.
Yeah. Dude, come on, get some meth. Go to a Rax. Go out back. What's
It
happening
is just
here?
rugged.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like an Arby's. Like, go out back of an Arby's. Like any dumpster. Like, I
that
have some
truck stop on 71. Josephine's mom will handle
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Oh, I got some stuff. Let's get it on.
Yeah.
I'm Robert Kraft. I mean, like, if you factor in how much money it costs him to fly down there and then to St. Louis,
Let me
how much did he pay for that hand job?
Tens of thousands of dollars. Right. Maybe he was looking for his grandson.
Sweet monkey balls.
Yeah.
All right, Alex. Cruisers FC traveling to New England to take on the Greater New England Revolution.
Yeah.
The Fightin' Revs, as they say in the industry.
Yep.
It is the middle of winter.
Yeah.
Especially there, where
things can get weird on the East Coast this time of year with like nor'easters and things like that.
Yeah, so
big weather patterns. It's not going to be that bad, man. Honestly, they were talking about early on some potential weather, but it looks like same thing that happened here last weekend. That's going to hit them on Sunday. So the teams dodged a bullet. Saturday, the kick is kind of at a weird time, 2:00. And it looks like it's going to be sunny. 38 degrees, winds out of the north at 9 miles an hour.
So that's nothing.
Yeah, it should be totally legit.
People in their billion should be able to hang both of their
banners. Good for
footy.
I'm kind of looking forward to the weekend following for our game.
Yeah, what is that looking like?
It's
early forecast.
Thursday is flirting with 60. Yeah, man. Yep. So we got potential for some real nice weather next weekend.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, it would be great.
I'd be totally okay with that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would.
Tell everyone about it. All right, let's get, just in case the guest on segment 2 doesn't stick around for segment 3 or is a shitlord like Jacob Myers.
Is that the guy that doesn't wear a shirt?
Something like that.
Yeah. God.
Why don't you go ahead and give us your prediction in case Mike Hudson Sucks doesn't stick around?
Okay.
Cruisers FC taking on the Fightin' Revs.
Fair enough. I think we're going to pluck one early, so we'll score one in the first half, and then I don't think they're going to pull anything out of their hat. So I'm going to go 2-0 Crew.
Dos a Cero, as they say in the soccer industry. All right. Well, Alex, thanks for stopping by.
Hey, thanks for having me.
As always, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Alex Thomas, a.k.a. Uncle Alligator, a.k.a. Gary Sportsman.
Just friends.
Just friends who touch each other's weenuses because of the friendship.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Thomas.
Smoke weed every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Thomas with the weather report. What a treat that guy is. Darby, I'll tell you what. Cruisers FC heading out to the Northeast to take on the Steve Abreu's on tour. Hit him up at Toby Keith's, Adobe Gilas. There's a Patriot. There's a whole big guitar stapled to this. Darby Schnorfus, your thoughts on the coming game, my friend?
Well, I mean, I didn't do any homework for this game other than to see that apparently they tied Dallas in Dallas this past week, despite having lost a starter, which is good for them. And we really played out all the Robert Kraft hand gibber blowjob jokes, so I'm not sure I have a lot to say here. This is the time of the year that you still get sloppy games. I think the Crew are still... they're still learning. Like, even though you've got a similar structure, there are differences. I think it's going to be a little sloppy. I think you'll see the same starting 11. Even though we all appreciated what Rubinho brought to the game, I don't think he starts yet. So I think you get your same fucking starting 11. That being said. I did like things that I saw this year that are the wrinkles. Like I said, I like Will being more aggressive on offense. I like Jossie doing more things. I think when this gets together, it's going to be a good deal. I expect improvement. I think this is, another week, kind of an opportunity to readjust. I think the team will look solid, but I still think you're not going to be mid-season form. So. I expect some sloppiness. I expect a game where we're all pulling our hair out just a little bit. MLS going to MLS.
All right. Mike Hudson Sucks. Your thoughts on the upcoming match, my friend?
So.
What are you typing right now? You had so much time to type.
Yes, I did.
While I was blathering on and not saying anything, you had so much opportunity to Google shit, and here you are.
Yep, and I could not do it in time. If you know what I mean.
What were you looking up?
I was going to say how many years Brad Friedel's been the manager over there. This is his first, right?
This is his 2.
This is the second one.
2?
This is his 2.
But did he have a full season last year, or was it partial?
I think he got hired right before the season started.
Okay. So he didn't have a lot of time to implement his system preseason?
Because he was the one that sent Lee Wynn over to LAFC, and that happened right before the season started, I believe. So, Mike Hudson, back to you.
So, New England were not very good last year.
Nope.
They didn't really do a whole lot to improve this year. I was thinking that Brad Friedel was in his first year, so unlike Columbus Crew, they were not good last year and under a new manager, whereas we're good last year and are under a new manager. I think we run riot, even though we don't score first. I think it's going to be a pretty lopsided game in a lot of stat categories.
All right. In favor of us.
That's correct.
Son of a bitch. Sean Sitar, the wetness, the wet boy. Your thoughts on the upcoming match against the Revolution, my friend?
Yeah, I agree. New England was bad last year. They missed the playoffs. I don't think they made it far in Open Cup, stuff like that. So
they got beaten by Louisville in Louisville at a college campus.
Oh my God, you'd hate to see a major league team get beat by a minor league team at a college campus in the Open Cup.
And now I will throw myself off the nearest building.
Finally. And I don't think that I haven't really been keeping track of player acquisitions from this offseason, but I don't really feel like they added anybody that made good enough headlines to get my attention, so they must not be that much different. So yeah, I don't think they're going to be much of a challenge either. It's a road game, so you know how those go with MLS, so who really can say what's going to happen, but I think this is favorable. Certainly a more favorable matchup, even away from home, than last week, I think, in my opinion.
Always tough to go on the road in MLS, especially if you're the Columbus Crew, especially if you're going on the road against a team that's opening their home part of the schedule, especially if it's in New England where they have tens of fans in their supporter section. Fuck you guys. This is it's going to be cold, like Alex said. It's not going to be it's not going to be like -20, but it's still New England. It's still wintertime. It's still shitty turf. I don't really expect. I don't expect much. I will kind of say that when we played there last year, we won. I know we won once there. I think it was a 1-0 game, and I think it was a Lawless Abubakar header off of a corner. That's more to me. That's second verse, same as the first. Crew scoring not from the run of play off of a boring set piece. Take them where you can get them, but that doesn't instill confidence in me. Excited for the game. It's a 2:00 game. I remember Frankie saying something on the aforementioned Cup podcast where he said, I always like to play during the day. I think professional soccer players play better at the time that they practice. So we'll see if that has anything to do with it. Again, it's on turf, and that sucks. So let's go around the Latin term for podcast host, which is table. Get our score predictions out of the way. Drolby Scrinface, we start with you, my friend.
All right. I learned my lesson from the greatest waffle maker winner in the game these days. I'm actually calling for a 1-1 tie. I think Jacktown scores a goal. I think Cowtown scores a goal. And we walk away with another point.
All right.
And this is based solely on somehow the Revolution getting a tie in Dallas. Like they must be doing something right. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but whatever.
I watched a little bit of that game. It was a boring nothingness fest. New England's goal came off of an absolute shit cross that was absolutely even worsely dealt with by the keeper. It was a fluke goal.
It sounds like the kind of way we score. So
yeah. It was not a goal that made you think this team has much in them. So
I mean, but still, they got a point on the road. So
against a not insignificantly bad Dallas team.
Yeah. So 1-1. Hashtag Kraft Mac and Jizz. Hashtag Tom Brady is jealous. Bob Kraft, you need to get with your mans and make him feel good about himself again, because you are down messing with Florida womans when your man's at home.
That's right.
Waiting for you to touch his penis.
That's what people say. Sometimes people do say that.
Okay.
Shout out to everyone on Periscope that had to deal with that.
Yeah,
Mike Hudson Sucks.
Somebody commented something. I saw it.
The guess. The score prediction is as follows.
So I have Shirt Boys 1, Shirtless Boys 3.
Wait, who's what? I don't know what that means.
The good guys are the ones that don't wear shirts, obviously.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing here.
Hashtag Weenus. Hashtag Mobile Butts. Hashtag Panel is Latin for podcast host.
Thank you very much. That's true. You said 3-1?
3-1 crew.
I'm
feeling 3-1, bruh.
3-1, bro. All right, Sean Sitar, the wet boy, your prediction.
I think that New England's bad. And I think that we can get the win that we probably should have gotten this past week there. But I think that, like you said, I watched the highlights. It's not the same with watching the game, but that goal that they had was not good. And so I don't think that they necessarily have what it takes right now to string anything together. So I'm going with Crew SC2, the Boston Handies 0.
Oh my gosh, it's Emo-Junk.
Emo blow.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Basketballs.
Very nice.
So that's my prediction.
It's one of the custom fucking emojis that you made on the Save the Crew Slack channel. There's two basketball emojis for testicles.
Yeah, so this is
and an eggplant for a penis.
Yeah, this is insider stories, but that is 100% a custom emoji on the Save the Crew Slack channel.
It's true. I've seen it. I think that I agree with Sean Sitar. New England is bad, but remember that we're talking about, like road team FC and home team FC. So I think that you can be better as a road team and still come away with a 1-1 draw, Drabs, which is what I'm predicting. Cruisers FC 1, Orchids of Asia 1.
God damn it, why didn't I think of that?
Hashtag Team Sierra Burhalter. Hashtag definitely only girls. I'm a 3-4 man. Hashtag feel the weenus deep inside of you, but because of our friendship only. Hashtag Rambo and Rambo Gooners because of Rambo. Hashtag 2 men who are comfortable with each other and let us go inside of each other just as friends.
You didn't even change any of these.
Yeah, none of these are
these
new.
two
Why are we
different.
reading them if they're not different?
No, these two are different.
Oh, wait, did you...
just as...
Oh, he
I
touched
added the
them up.
friendship part.
He touched
I added
it.
the friendship part.
Yeah.
Just so everyone is clear, we're doing this because of our friendship. That's how comfortable we are.
John, he touched it up. Just the tip, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hashtag check on Darbs, who is an elderly man and in danger of heat death.
Not today, Satan.
Darby,
Plenty day left, Darby.
John, what's GCG bag got going on this weekend?
I don't know. I don't know where they hang out. I don't know what they do in their free time.
GCG Bag, stop making T-shirts and tell us what you do.
Yeah,
I imagine they'll be here, but I would have thought they'd be here for...
I saw like a very grainy JPEG of it.
Right, so it's like...
Yeah,
it's
I think
all
that's the only image that exists.
Right. It's like the letters, but and there's a golden girl in each of the letters except for one, which is Josh Williams.
But they're selling Golden Girls like intellectual property or property. What am I trying to say here?
What is this, MLS?
They were selling
Do you
that
think
this
they're
past
gonna-
weekend, too. Those
Were they?
hats with the stickers on
Like
them.
for profit?
Yeah.
There aren't very many golden girls left alive to fight the issues. So.
Well,
You
Stephen
can kind of
Bray
get away. You can
tell
get
you
like
that that's
the
not
fan
how the law
art
works.
community is pretty huge. You can get away with a lot before they actually like.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's looking in the soccer community and saying, "Oh, you're making money off of our."
I don't think anyone's out there.
property."
The only thing that they think they're looking for is
$39.
people running reruns of the show illegally or
Right.
something. Like,
It does happen.
Probably fine.
You sold
Does it?
1,000 shirts and made $39.
Yeah.
If only there had been a member of GCG Bag here earlier today who could have told us what was going on.
I mean,
with that.
technically, anyone who belongs to the Nordeck
I was
is
going to say, yeah.
a member of GCG Bag.
You buy a Nordeck membership, Darby?
No. Why would I do
Morgan?
that?
Yes.
Okay, well there you go. There's your GCG Bag member.
Oh,
Laziest Cunningham club
On
ever.
behalf of
Oh
the
my God.
GCG Bags, I'd like to say that Andres Mendoza is the greatest player in franchise history.
You know, I'm convinced that Morgan, like, once he starts saying it, John, what's GCG Bag got going? He just can't stop himself, even though he realizes it's a dumb question. It just, like, completely goes off.
Your face is a dumb question, and it goes off. Great job, me. Thanks.
Better charge that face.
Yeah. Drolby Scrinface, any volunteer opportunities for Save the Crew this weekend?
I don't know. Do you have
Darby
any
doesn't know
slots?
about that anymore. I
Do you
don't
have any
think.
slots left? For
We
the-
had
You know what I mean?
2, I think, as of like
Yeah.
4 or 5. I've been checked since then. So,
So there's one volunteer event. Actually, you can talk about it because
there's one volunteer event.
yeah.
Go to the Save the Crew social media and click the link.
Van Buren Shelter. Is it March 10th?
It's this Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was
So, like, in a
supposed to
couple
go
of
out on
days.
Monday, and then I fucked something up and it didn't. And I just
John's bad
realized
at
that it didn't go
interneting.
out today, so I posted today. But we got a lot of good signups so far, but we do need to make sure that the shift is full because we took it
Yeah.
voluntarily.
And it's the only
the only one
session
for this month, yeah.
because like obviously the ACES radio effect has meant that their volunteer spots are they're filling up quicker.
That does happen.
Yeah, like basically we've had this amazing effect on the Van Buren shelter, and they're just they have a glut of volunteers.
They can't keep the energy in their mobile.
They are just
People are using
serving hot mayonnaise sandwiches at a speed with which they've never served them before.
Whoa, dude! We said we weren't going to do that
and
anymore.
they're putting it in the slicer
I'm not talking about. I'm just saying what a good local.
I told Josh to tell Dustin.
I know, but I'm just saying what the Van Buren shelter is doing. I'm not saying we're doing it.
It's a really good event. So
I don't
if
really
there are any
know-
spots still available when you hear this, go and sign up because it's a good experience.
Usually we do 2 a month, and we wanted to expand. I don't really know what happened this month. I think Joe said there was some weird scheduling confusions.
Yeah, they switched to like an online system.
So
but also,
we only
the
got the one
Crew
day.
Foundation is looking for volunteers. So if you're not,
there you go.
If all the spots are filled and you want to do something else, that's a thing too. So
That program, I think, is if it's like it was previously, is pretty nice. You sign up, and then whenever there's something that they need people for, they blast out an email, and you either sign up for it if you're free or you don't. And then if you don't, then you just wait for the next one.
Yeah, but there are lots of good volunteer opportunities. And Nordec is doing volunteer shit too.
I don't know why you're pointing at me.
I don't know because you guys.
I'm not
know
a member
that
of the
shit. I'm not a member, but yeah, like
we sure do.
They're doing volunteer things. I would
Morgan,
say.
can you tell us about that?
We have a newsletter coming out sometime this week, John. Everyone on the leadership channel is really excited about it. They're like, "Hey, do you want to say anything in this newsletter?" And everyone's like, "When are we going to make new 2 sticks?"
I like that. Like, hey, do you want to say anything in this newsletter? Is there like not subtle way of saying, are we doing a TiVo soon? Like, do you have anything to announce?
But in all seriousness, like that's one thing I picked up in all of this. Now that we've sort of wound down some Save the Crew stuff, everybody has a free day somewhere. So, like, go and find a volunteer opportunity out somewhere. There are lots of good initiatives that are available, whether it's connected to Save the Crew or Nordec or the team or just something that you're interested in personally. Go and volunteer some of your free time because you can actually do good shit.
That's right.
As opposed to being on a garbage podcast.
And if it's something you'd prefer to do with Crew fans, your friends, or whatever, bring it to us, and maybe it's something we can add to the community assist programs. I don't know. We're trying to expand stuff.
We now
Van
have a
Buren
network.
has some weird things happening in the next month or two that I think are going to keep us from volunteering there in person, so maybe we try some new stuff while that's going on. But
Team at SaveTheCrew.com.
I'll be there Sunday.
I'll be there as well. Mike Hudson Sucks. Do you have...
no, you won't.
Did the London
Yeah,
airplanes...
he did. He signed up.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Maybe. London airplanes have any e-blasts going out?
I'm sure they do, but we play on Sunday at 3 o'clock or so against some team from somewhere else in the world.
Oh, my fucking God.
Yeah.
They must die. They must pay for their transgressions against...
Big fan. Doesn't know who they're playing this weekend.
The London airplanes. What are they actually called?
How does that work?
London
They just like play the
Spitfire.
same people like
So
over and over
London
and over
shit
again?
piles.
Yeah, let's end this podcast now before we talk more about this.
Fan-fucking-tastic. If you've enjoyed the shitlordery on segment 3, I've got some bad news for you. This is the last segment on the show. On behalf of all of our sponsors, Blood, Urine, Spit, Salvia, Football, Larry Turd, the dead, rotting corpse of the London fighting airplanes. This has been episode 111 of ACES Radio, and all Lord Guillermo's people said...
I didn't think about this in advance.
Charge that mobile B drives you. Get out of my face with it.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Please have a party. Feed us drinks. Get us laid. Ow!
Dude, don't pretend like you're busy working or something, dude. You know you're in bed, just watching PlayStation or something like that.
That's the word on the street.